All right, boys, welcome back to Uncut 90. Today we have a very, very special guest, the big man, the boss. You already know who it is. It's Boris, my man over here. And of course, my man on the other side, Julian. So, let's start it off, Julian.
Welcome, man. First of
Thank
all,
you.
nice to meet you. I think this is my first time formally meeting you. I've seen
Formerly,
you
I know
around,
I've seen you on the
but
on the field.
yeah, but this is my first time having a real conversation with you.
Right.
Let's just get straight to the point. I've been hearing about Renegades for so long. I've obviously known about it. I know a lot of your players, but how did this start? When did you start your club?
Um, is the right before the beginning of COVID, David Lawrence and myself was like, we need to form a team where a lot of these guys, because I used to just be involved with the Talacha world,
Yeah,
the
yeah, of
indoor
course. Just
stuff,
indoor stuff,
and
yep.
I said some of these players are really talented, and I don't see why they can't compete, at least at the semi-pro level, at the elite level. And we saw that Contour was making noise. Um,
Did you watch them win nationals? Were you in the mix
yes,
at that time? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I saw them. Nelson. Shout out to Nelson.
That's right.
He put together a great group of guys, and some of them have even incorporated into the Renegades after it pretty much left the UPSL. It still remains strong in the Talacha world. Uh,
Contour?
Yeah,
Contour,
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
wow, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, again, we're rivals on the field, but off the field, I would say he's a very close friend. He's somebody I can go to advice for because he knew the world. So a lot of it, he mentored me about what it takes and gave me advice. Very nice guy. Always was helpful. You know, a lot of teams I know had the same thing against him that I guess got transferred over to me.
Yeah,
Who the Renegades are.
it translated to
Yeah,
you.
yeah. But I mean, we had some great rivalries going and some great games. The memorable games. You can watch them on tags. A lot of them, especially the big one was the Raelo
Raya Club, yeah,
final.
yeah. The 30, I think it was like the 30,000, right?
Yeah, the $30,000 win.
Franco scored. I saw at that time I wasn't playing. I joined right after basically, but
Yes,
Franco scored the winning
Franco
goal. Oh,
scored
no,
the
the
winning
penalty. The
the
penalty.
penalty.
Yes, correct,
Yeah,
correct.
because we
Yeah.
went to extra time and then right into penalty kicks. So it was an honor to even beat him and beat his team. But the idea started around right before COVID, and then COVID happened. So it
Damn.
kind of like threw us off. We would play. I think that's when Santa joined
Yeah, yeah. I
too.
was like right off the mix after
Yeah,
that.
so I mean, at first people didn't want to come to the club because yeah, listen, it's a family thing. So what happened? My wife, I was looking for a name. My
Oh yeah, how
wife.
did the thing come up? Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to know that too.
So I mean, some guys know it, and and it's no secret. As my wife came up with the name, she called me a renegade. Basically because of who I was on the law.
Okay.
I started my law firm
Yeah, yeah.
at a young age. I decided that I can do this too.
Of
You
course.
know, I work for people, great people, and this Jacob Oreski showed me so much.
Mhm.
And I thought, here's a Latino, I can go strike out on my own
Why
and
not
be the
me?
one. Why not me?
Yeah.
Because that's how my father had raised us to be, me and my sister. Dare to dream and dream to dare.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And that's how it was. Rest in peace to my dad. But yeah, that was the encouragement. And then my wife said that you go against the grain so much. Why don't you just call yourself the Renegades? And I really liked the name, so I was like, yeah, why not call it the Renegades? And that's
Renegades.
when it was born.
So
And
how?
then
Sorry.
go
How
ahead.
how was that like? I didn't know you started your law firm at a young age. I always heard that you're a lawyer, but I didn't know how young you started. But how was that? How did that transition to you starting as well running? Like, did you take some bits that you would use in your world to bring to the team to like start forming it, or maybe some
Absolutely,
principles?
absolutely
Like the
hard work.
structures and stuff like that. I'm assuming,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean hard work, discipline, and a little bit of the bring a little the heat and express
Yeah.
yourself and You know, because I was never afraid or shy to express myself. And in law, you have to be that way. And I grew to love the game as it was. And I thought that there was something missing about competing and you know showing off the New York because listen, for years it's always been Cali,
Florida,
so it's been
Yeah.
Florida saying
Texas.
Texas saying that we got the best soccer, football, and let's be honest, U.S. soccer and all of them love to overlook New York. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
even
Very
to
true.
this day, a lot of college in New York, the bigger colleges, and no disrespect to them, they just want to win, I guess, but
Mhm.
they overlook a lot of young talent.
Do you think it's I've seen this a lot when I was growing up. Do you think that they overlook Hispanics in general though?
Yes,
Because me when I was growing up, like when I looked at colleges, it was always Americans and like African Americans, and as I go to club playing USL two and stuff like that, some of my coaches were like, we saw good talent as Hispanics, but they're like, nah, he's a Flushing player. We don't want that. So what do you think that's how they vision us, or what do you think of that? Like,
that's absolutely how they vision it. Like to this day they'll say you're
Mhm.
dribbling too much.
yeah,
You
you're
think
hogging the ball.
you're hogging the ball.
Yeah.
You're being Maradona.
Yeah,
You're trying to, because let's face it, in the Latino culture, there is a lot of self-expression.
of course,
Like
yeah.
playing the game. We
Yeah.
play it a different kind of way. They were more used to the English style of
Long ball strength,
long ball,
physical and stuff like that.
physical. I need the strong guy. I need the guy who can kick the ball 50 yards
Yep.
and some guy
100%.
who goes through 6 foot something
Yeah.
battle for the ball, not work the ball and
And move the ball. Yeah.
move the ball around to.
Do you think I got a quick question for you? Do you think it's also us to blame as well, because we have to also take in consideration that we're not all disciplined. Hispanics are, and I know you see it. You know what I mean?
I know,
You,
I live it.
as you exactly, you live it. So in this case, like, could you blame us as well for being that, and for them to look at us that way? Could you blame them in that sense?
Yes, I mean, that's some of the players I had or have,
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's no
You
joke.
looked at me a little too close there.
Yeah.
It was like someone I had. I was
I
like,
mean,
okay.
I
I'm
thought one
trying-
of us was gonna disagree and
yeah.
defend our people, but no.
No. You
I
have
couldn't
to.
do
No,
it.
No, I mean, listen, this got to just be a balance.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
what it's all about. It has to be a balance. Um, you know, embrace the individuality,
Mhm.
but also, yeah, you have to learn to play
a certain style, maybe.
a certain
In a certain system
a
as
certain
well.
system.
Okay,
You
okay,
have to
certain
learn
system.
to adapt to systems, because if you don't, then what ends up happening in the moments, because soccer is about moments,
Yeah, of course.
you won't execute because maybe I was being too selfish,
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
or maybe I didn't see that the pass was there and I didn't make the pass.
Yeah,
You know.
of course.
So it really does come down to, the balance, which is why I did what I did
Yeah.
with the Renegades. And
Did you knew that was gonna come with it though? Did you knew that what once I make a team and let's say when you see these players at a La Talacha, Pirateo, and you see them, do you say, hey, if I do this, I know that I gotta have some control of them, because I know one's gonna be here, one's gonna be there. One's may not listen to me, and I know you being a lawyer, like it takes a lot. Like I mentioned to you before, you have tough skin. So like, did you realize that you all of that comes within being a president, being an owner, being a coach?
oh my God, I mean, it's funny you mentioned that, because after the win, we went to eat in Pittsburgh,
Mm-hmm.
and I mentioned to them that I was so proud of them because they were willing to, adapt and let themselves grow.
Yeah.
But also I did tell them I've argued with everybody on that table. At one point or another,
It
I
had to hit
have
someone.
had an argument or disagreement as you want to put it,
Mhm.
with everybody on that table, including my coaches.
Of course, of course.
And, and shout out to them. I'll
Tom and
talk, I'll
David,
go
Tom,
into
yeah.
that. But right now, talking about the players.
Yeah, like when you were creating the team Renegades, and did you know that, or you imagine that you had to deal with that at some point, or it's something that you just within the process you experienced
learn.
that? So you were
Experience, you learn. Because listen, not everybody comes from same background and community. Some people come from broken homes. A lot of
Yeah.
our players are immigrants.
Yeah, 100%.
I was fortunate enough that I came here when I was really young. I mean, 2 months old. My dad brought me here. You're talking about back in 1971.
Mhm.
I lived a different life.
Yes,
I was
correct.
blessed to have a different life. Some of these guys, just literally,
Do you think that they
they're
don't
the
have that
first ones
guidance?
here, huh?
Do you think that they didn't have any guidance growing up, or maybe like
Some of
in
them
their
did.
path?
Some of
stuff
them
like that?
did. Some of them had to leave. Their parents had to leave and come here, and you know, not really be in their lives
In their
like that.
lives.
So a lot of this, comes with the game. Like without that was the whole point, right? Like the U.S. is a pay-to-play system.
Yep.
These guys definitely overlooked, even when they came here and got into high school.
Mhm.
Like let's say Torito, for instance.
Yeah, yeah.
Bacha, for instance. Did they get taken seriously? I mean, who's gonna tell me now, as far as a right back is concerned, that he can't play college ball or can't be a pro? And thankfully, I'm hoping to light the pathway for Apache to make it pro,
Yeah.
because the boy's a beast.
Those players like Bacha, Kilmar, all those players, I had the chance to play with them. Do you feel that maybe in their situation, growing up or in high school, maybe no one take them serious because they didn't take themselves seriously? You think at one point, or is it just
Combination.
combination?
Because no one was there to tell them, hey, apply yourself now and we can do something. Because there was no pathway. You had to pay to play here. They
Or
they,
if get lucky,
or get lucky, get seen.
and that chances are really slightly.
No one goes to the Pirateo games. No one goes to the Talacha games.
But
here
those are the
local.
best games to go. Those are exciting.
course,
Those are exciting games.
Where you think I formed the talent?
Exactly.
You
Yep.
know where I recruited him, all
Where?
right? I saw him scorch somebody in Brooklyn, and he can tell you I made the phone call.
Yeah, he's made the phone call.
I
yep.
made the phone call, and he was like, "Who's this?" He
At that
probably-
time, there was a lot of people calling me. So
yeah, I mean, he's like, "Who's this?" And then I tell him, "Yeah, I'm forming a team. I'm going into the UPSL," and he's like, but I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. It was a hot item, Santa,
that time,
Santa
like,
Nema was
come
a
on.
hot item, right? And I said, no, but you have to come to train. Oh,
Yeah.
Remember that?
I did remember that.
yeah, but it's kind of hard because I got this going on or I got these. I'm like, Santa,
Did you believe the guy?
huh?
Did you believe the guy?
You had to,
him?
believe it.
Yeah.
You had to, believe it. Yeah, of course.
I mean, he
bro.
played. But the thing is, I went to see him play. I think that night, I saw him. I think he double megged the dude.
Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go all the way wherever the game was. I used to go,
just go.
because I was very big on, hand picking my players. He knows
Which
it
is
too.
good. Yeah,
No,
which is
yeah, I
good.
think
I
being
was
present
always,
is very important.
Very, very much so. I wasn't just like, okay, especially back then. I was like, no, I gotta have the right player. The mentality, and sometimes I picked wrong. But there's no disrespect to them, but sometimes it was like they would fight you like, he's a lawyer, he doesn't
know, or like he's
doesn't
this.
know. I'm like, but neither do you, because if you knew, you would, no. My point
No, of
is,
course, 100%.
my point
Yeah.
is, neither do you, because if you knew, you would be a pro.
Yeah. You would be a pro,
Yeah.
100%.
You would be a pro. So my comeback has always been like that. And in my
That's a good
head,
one.
you know me because I'm always sure of myself when I speak. I said, I may not have played at your level, okay, but I'm a student of the game. I study the game. I read books on the game. I studied you know, and I know some guys out there like saying, "Oh, he didn't go to the coaching lights or come from the game." I'm like, dude, stop it.
What do you
You
say
know?
to that?
Like, because I think it's a crock of shit.
No, what I'm saying, like, what do you say to that, like, an aspect when people tell you that, or
That you need,
even
like,
when
a certain-
coaches, yeah, like
you
when
need a certain
coaches and like,
certificate or
yeah,
license.
like he doesn't qualify for this. Like, if he does this, is because he's just this and that. And what do you, how do you respond to that? Not just respond to, but how do you react to that? Is it just like something that doesn't phase you, or is it?
It
Something,
doesn't phase me.
Okay.
It doesn't phase me because you know what? I have beaten those guys, right?
Yeah, that's 100%.
I have always said, if you're so great a coach, why didn't you outcoach me?
Yeah.
You know, if you're so great a coach, why you didn't change your system when you saw what we were doing to you? You know, if you're so great a coach, where did I didn't
Yeah.
see it? You know,
Mhm.
to me, that's what I say. Now, I can tell you, there's some good coaches, and there's some good coaches locally, who again, you know, have been overlooked. You know, because it's the same thing, right? Well, you got to come from this system to come here, and I came in and I upended the whole system,
Yep,
right?
that's true.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's true. People can hate on that, and I guess they hate me for it,
Mhm.
you know, because
They just hate that you're up there right now. That you have the crown up there, and you guys are just there, and continue to be there where they can't maintain that.
I mean, it's been what, I guess going into the 6th
The
year,
6th year already, yeah.
yeah, and you know,
There's not a team in New York that they could say like, oh, they could be Renegades right now.
I mean, you can beat us in one game, but beat us when it counts in the
Yeah, when it-
playoffs.
yeah.
You know, this is where it counts. You know,
That's
like
that's when it matters.
it matters, and you know, I've had, you know, even in the UPSL, my biggest rival has been Braveheart, and then all the other teams get mad when I say it's Braveheart. Like I know
Who you're competing
who it's going to be,
against.
and you know, I call it, and they're mad because I say it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no disrespect to any other team. Until I see and feel that you're a Braveheart to me, I'll always say Braveheart.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And the reason I say it is because I know their quality to win, you know? And I know because I have competed against them. And I have, thankfully, we have beaten them more times than they have us.
Yeah.
But make no mistake about it, that's war.
Yeah.
When it's us
That's
and
when it gets
Braveheart, that's
back and
war.
forth.
It's
Back
been
and
a
forth.
Good games.
You know,
Good
those
games,
are great
those
Yeah,
games.
good games.
You know,
1-1
and I love it.
PKs. It just goes back and forth. Yeah, I think everybody
know?
loves watching those games, especially right now. I think that's like the biggest games right now in New York, which is Bravehearts
Yeah.
and Renegades. It's literally that every single time.
They, you know, and then it's like, and I think I lost to your team, AFC.
Shout out to AFC.
You know,
man.
you know, shout out to them, Mo. I
Mo-
know Mo for
Mo's a great
years.
player, yeah.
You know, I know about the Afghan thing because, you know, Assad trained my son, Justin.
Yeah,
Great coach too. That old man knows a lot.
yeah.
And
they
that
do.
thing, I learned a lot from that man. How, you know, coaching, you know, analyzing systems. So shout out to Assad, you know, and his brother Tom. You know, he works with me.
Yeah. They do.
But I knew Mo, and I knew about that whole, you know,
Yeah,
everybody has their story, right? Everybody,
everybody
has
has
their
a
thing,
story.
right? So for those that don't know, that Afghan, you know, tournament that they have, it's a real deal tournament.
Yeah, they're actually, yeah. I've seen it and I heard about it, and it's the real deal.
What
for
is
sure.
that? I haven't heard about it.
It's like well, in their culture, I feel like I'm not 100% in it, but like not saying in it like the information. I could be wrong, but like they do some like crazy stuff in there. Like,
But what
it's
is it,
really-
like an EVA, 11v11? There's a prize.
They-
11v11.
11v11. So they organize different tournaments. They even
Yeah.
go out of state. They go out of the country
Oh.
sometimes, and it's like the biggest of the biggest. You know, they recruit the best players of Afghan.
So they got their own talachas.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have their own talacha, but for them it's just I feel like it's not about the money. It's
No.
about the pride.
It's about the pride.
It's
the
about
prestige.
like the prestige, the title. Brishnell right now, I know that Afghan team is like the one that's been winning everything, but you also have teams that are like AFC. You have Ittihad that they are basically competing with them. So
Oh,
it's a big
I never
deal.
heard of
It's a
it.
big
Do
deal.
they stream it somewhere?
Yeah,
or-
they do. They do
They do.
stream it. They have people that coordinate. They have cameras.
Mhm.
I've seen over thousands of people watching their
Shit,
games.
I
It's
haven't-
crazy.
I never heard of it.
Nah,
gotta
yeah.
I
tune in.
think one day they're gonna let me come in.
I hope so.
Under Assad because
I hope so.
I would really love to compete in that.
That'd be
one, you know.
cool. That'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, it would, because you bring another culture into it, and to compete against, like I said, it's not for money. Like, we Talacha, we go for what, $150,000.
Mhm.
With them, with the trophy and the meaning behind it is, I think, is more important for them.
Mhm.
So it would be really exciting to watch you guys.
Oh yeah,
compete.
definitely. Shout out to the Afghan community. you know.
Yeah, shout out to them, man.
They really love their soccer. They love their football. So, but when you talk about, upending the system, it was all right for them, for these established teams, to have Latino players because they started seeing that they were good, right? But what they didn't like, and I've always said this, they didn't like the ownership being me, another Latino, and going into their world and
taking over?
changing it up, and know that they were like, behind the scenes, they're not good, they play in the UPSL,
Yeah,
they're not, they're the Special Olympics. And a comment I always will remember that comment. They're the Special Olympics team. And then I said to them, I was like, well, we'll see about who's Special Olympics.
Yeah, and we touched that subject a little back before we started streaming, guys. So before we started recording, but we talked about it when we played Penn Cyprian in I think it was the last round before the finals, and we were down 3-1. We had injuries. I think we only had like 12 people or 13 people on the bench, 2 being a goalkeepers. And it was great. Two being goalies. I think even one went in. I think one even went. I think Kevin Shannon went in the field. I think so. It's like and then we're losing 3-1, and then I'm like, it can't be like this, because we could produce more and more and more. And I see and I hear the fans. This is what he said. He said, this is not EPSL, this is USL, like UPSL, like, you can't
Oh,
compete.
the fans are saying
Yeah,
that?
like, you can't compete. This, like, this is EPSL. You basically saying that UPSL teams can't compete in an open cup. So, and I'm like, we can't go down like this. And unfortunately we did, and I can't make excuses with the players and stuff like that. But you learn, you're here now, the whole process. Let's just run that down, and where are we at now? How did you go with that process of us failing until now that you're here? How
you
did
have
that
to
process?
fail to win. I think that's a lesson in everything you do, not only in football, not only in soccer,
In everything.
in everything.
What are some? I'm curious. What are some? I don't know. Big failures you've had. It may not just be losing a game. Maybe
Yeah,
building a club is.
That's
sure there's
great.
a lot of problems.
It's
And I know financially as well, it's not easy. It's not
No,
easy to, because
it's not.
what do you gain back at as a club owner?
I mean, now, thankfully, knock on wood, I have sponsors that help. The cost is still there. It's not.
Of course, it's not easy.
Expensive, and I do it because it gave me the platform to buy a team in Uruguay.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I went pro there, and it's like it changed a lot financially, and it's gonna work out, which I'll touch into how it works out with America. But everything, going back to your question, it's a great question. Let me see. Academically, I was always, I don't want to big up myself, but academically,
No, when
school
you know,
was
you
easy
know.
for me.
Yeah. When you
I
got it,
can't
you got
imagine
it.
being my brother. His girlfriend is a lawyer, so I know how much it
hard
takes
it
and how
is.
much
Yeah,
reading
a lot of
and,
people's
and
like, I gotta go down
time, man.
Yeah.
She's missed so many things, and
Yeah.
I'm not questioning that for sure, but what
Yeah,
are some?
I mean, it's one of those things that academically, like I give you examples of things as a Latino.
Mhm.
I'm older than you guys. you go through. I came out of Jamaica High School, one of the
Wow, I
When
didn't
I-
know that. That's crazy.
yeah,
Jamaica?
one of the,
At one point, that school was about to close down. I swear,
it did
yeah,
close down.
It did close down. Oh
It
man.
did close down. I mean, you know that, and you know, everybody you say Jamaica High School, they're like, "Oh fuck, that school is bad," you know? And you say to yourself, "Damn," you know. So when I put in my application for, you know, for schools,
Is that the only one that expected you?
because no, because hear me out, SAT scored high, you know. How you score so high, you know?
Yeah.
It came to the point where my father had to go because they accused me of possibly cheating,
Wow.
shit.
you know. And I took the test. My father said, "You know what?
Take it again.
He's gonna take it again right here in front of you, and I'm gonna be in the room too."
Wow, that's crazy.
You know?
He had that much confidence in you?
Hell yeah,
I would
he
have failed.
did.
Were you like fuck, or you were like, ah, yeah, let me
I
do it
was
again?
like shocked by what he said. You know, I'm like, wait a minute, we came here to argue about my keeping
Not
my
retake the
score.
Not retake the test.
You know, and then, you know what? They gave me the test again, and I scored higher.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
shit.
crazy.
You know, there was no doubt about it. You know, I scored it, and then, now school started accepting me because I came out of Jamaica High School, right?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough school to
It's
come
a
out
tough
of.
school to come out of. You know,
What is the percentage of people that were graduating even at that time?
it was low.
Mine was, imagine, I went to John Brown High School. I
I
think
know
we,
John Brown.
it was like 40% graduating.
Yeah,
And
it
I
was
could have just
bad.
imagined Jamaica.
Jamaica was worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I could imagine them like
Yeah,
being
Jamaica
like
was
even.
worse. You know, it's like, you know, it's. I think the culture of the school was. Back then it was just like so much. You know, the fighting, and you know. It was a different mentality the school had,
Yeah,
you
of
know, and
course.
that's why I think they ended up closing it down because of that, you know. But anyway, going back to it, but my biggest failure was so I go in, I go to John Jay, right, and the subject was more. I go in with the mentality of high school where I was just like, I just cruise through, right?
Yeah, of course. yeah.
Professor calls on me and says this and that and gives a surprise test.
Oh wow.
I failed the test, and it woke me up. You know, hey, this environment is different. You
Yeah.
better start, you know, putting in the work
Yeah.
because otherwise you're gonna fail out. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, so that taught me to expect the unexpected.
Yeah.
And you know, also taught me you have to put in an effort. You know, you could be, and it applies to soccer too. Like, you can be all the talent you have, if you're not putting in the effort to know when to do certain things,
Yeah.
you're not gonna make it. It's that simple.
true.
You know, because there's a talent, tremendous amount of talent.
Yeah, for
Not
sure.
only here, everywhere you go, you know,
Mhm.
but it's not talent. The mentality has to be there.
And Caseta said the same things. The mentality got to be there.
You have to have the mentality, and you have to be willing to take chances. You know, I went. You know, I joined some clubs in school, mock trial. You know, boom! My first time out there, my
Yeah.
loudmouth self, cocky, thinking I'm gonna do well. I get beat procedurally.
Wow.
You know, you learn. You know, and like, okay, I gotta learn. Then you apply to law school. You go in there. My mentality was already focused though. At that point, I had that. Gotta work hard. You gotta work hard.
Of course.
Because that's what I did. I did my LSAT, did good, got accepted for every school, went to St. John's, But my mentality was shaped early, which is what I tell these guys because they're a lot younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
If you come in with the right mentality, you'll be surprised. You'll surprise yourself how much more you can achieve,
Yeah.
And failure hay una palabra, arriesgarse.
Arriesgar,
You
you
have
gotta
to.
risk it.
Yeah.
You have to go with it. My dad always said, you don't take that chance if you don't dare to dream, it's not going to
It's not
happen.
gonna happen. Yep.
So you have to be, willing to take a chance and know that in taking a chance, you can fail. Like I applaud Santa because he did this move and he doesn't know whether it's
Yeah,
going to fail, whether it's going to
Yeah,
succeed.
yeah, of course.
And you too,
Yeah,
right? So, but you know what? You're doing it.
yeah.
And that's
think
how
that's-
it's done.
We've
think
run
that's
into
the-
some problems too,
Yeah,
man. We ran
so
into a
many
problem
problems.
with, when was it with Caceres? So we have a separate thing that records the audio to get better audio. So it's recorded through a separate thing, right?
Right.
And we came before Caceres came, and it wasn't working. So we're like,
What do we do?
what do we do? Like we're unplugging everything, plugging in everything, and then I was like, yo, what? Like, cause it was the power bank, I guess, that had a
So
problem.
he tells me, he's like, what if he's like, what if we just smash it on the floor?
I couldn't think of anything else. I'm like,
Yeah.
So
I'm
we're
like, let
like-
me can I smash this? Because we spent money on this.
So he's like,
Yeah.
yo, fuck it.
I just smashed it and it ended up
It's just
working.
working. I was like,
and
oh, that was crazy. Yeah, but it's
But you can't be
situational.
afraid. I think it's
you
more-
can't be afraid to fail. It's
Mhm.
like I tell the young players, not only the ones in Premier, because we have academies.
The academies,
and
yeah,
shout out to
16,
them too, because
17.
they go out there to work, and they now they wear the Renegades jersey with
yeah.
pride. They know what it means, what it stands for, and that was the whole thing. I'm like, listen, do not be afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to fail. Like when I first got into coaching, I know a lot of the guys was like, what the fuck? How is he gonna be coaching us?
Listen, Boris did he was like an like how you called it? I think it was an octopus. He was like all over the place. He's like,
Octopus?
coach, I'm gonna grab the uniforms, everything. He was just like,
He's doing everything.
He's doing everything as
Yeah.
you should, but
I
At
think
the
that's
same
good
time-
though in the beginning. I feel like it's good to start off doing everything because you learn a bit of each role that I know you've passed down
Absolutely.
now.
Yeah, I mean, and he knows, Santa knows,
Yeah.
it's family.
that's
I
all
use
of us.
my kids go in there.
Shout out to Justin.
Justin, Javier.
Javier's the goat, man.
Yeah.
The guy's
I
amazing.
mean, the guy Javi is became a communication. He knows how to do videos and cut videos.
yeah,
Yeah.
He learned on the spot. And shout out to Javi.
and he's not scared to do, which is a
No.
lot of people are afraid to. Like they especially at a young age. Like some people are really scared to just do it. And I'm happy that Javier is able to just be himself, do it himself, and take ownership of what he could do, and hopefully he continues
Oh
to grow.
yeah, I mean he comes with crazy ideas all the time,
Yeah, man.
So
Javier
I'm like,
is a goat,
I
man. I love that
entertain
guy.
it, and I'm like, you know what, go for it,
Go for it, eh?
go for it. But it was a learn, like you said. I learned very early on. I can't be doing all that,
Yeah, yeah.
because
Especially if
got-
you want to expand.
exactly, because then you get distracted on little things, and
Mhm.
you can't be distracted on little things, And don't be afraid to
There was one time he forgot one of the uniforms. I forgot who it
Yes.
was. Yeah, we were. I think we were. I forgot where we were.
Who did he forget?
I don't know whose uniform was. I forget. And it was
Damn.
just- I think it
Did
was.
he not- he
I
didn't
think it was
play?
Matthews or something.
Yeah.
Nah. I think we used another jersey, but
yeah.
it was like, who has his uniform? He's like, we told you to put in there, and then it was just by him and Javier. Justin was, I think, there too. So it's it's a lot. Yeah.
It was, yeah.
damn.
I mean, it was bad, and then I'm like, okay, don't do that again. Learn to do that. But it's also every player is different. So adjusting to personalities.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo.
Yo,
Shout
nah,
out
he's big shout out to Yo. He's such a guy.
I mean,
Great
when
guy.
he came on board,
He's a great leader too.
yeah, leadership came on board. Boys, we have to be, strict on them. He talks very
Yeah,
soft spoken, but when he speaks with that
Motivation,
authority,
yeah,
that
authority, yes.
motivational. And then Big 12. What can you say? 12.
12 is 12.
12 is a beast. Soon as I recruited him, I was like, and he loyal to the teeth.
Not loyal. I think same thing as Yo-Yo. They're both guys that, and I speak to them till this day, and they're very loyal to you for sure.
Yeah,
100%.
they are. They're definitely, Yo-Yo is hurt. Hopefully, we get him back, at least in the U.S. Open.
Yeah. I mean,
He
I hope
brings that.
he brings the calms the game down. He's the type of player where he could control the game and the speed of well, the pace of the
Tempo.
game, the tempo. He could slow it down, rush it. Such an amazing player as well as a person.
I mean, and then you adjust to players like Tila and Toldo.
Yeah, no, those guys are dogs. Like I was mentioning, those guys just they could play 200 minutes and they still do the same. They'll just
Same
continue
thing.
to keep
They're
playing.
just machines, you
They
know.
play
Like
5 games
they
in one day.
just
It's fine.
the fight and competitiveness about, you know,
I watched a bit of the tags tournament that you guys won.
yeah.
So they were pressing. They were just winning the
Non-stop.
ball up high up the field,
But you
going
know
straight to
what?
goal.
It's training too.
Yeah,
You know,
training, yep.
because sometimes, you know, Tila was that raw talent, right? And then you get him, you say, listen, you don't have to press all the time because if you're pressing from behind, it most likely be a foul.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
but you pick your moments
Yep.
and watch how more effective you can be. And, you know, he's developed
Yeah, it's like
this ability to like turn it up when it needs to. He conserves sometimes. You can see him out there. You think, oh, he's tired. You know, like
this guy's not-
he's
waiting
just
for that
pacing
moment.
himself.
Yeah, yeah.
No, he's building up for that moment.
yeah.
You know, like the moment he had with against Empire, we're down to 9 men.
Oh man,
He
Those,
dribbled.
Man.
He dribbled. Is it that one?
Just
it was him and like
Turned
yeah,
it up.
he turned it up at the slide of like chance pot. What was it? I feel like that game alone was the chance of you guys winning. I feel like everybody was like, okay, Renegades is done.
not us though.
No, but
Not
the
us.
people the people that are not like in there, for
Yeah,
example, they don't
yeah.
know like that the fight
Yeah.
that you guys have in yourself.
Yeah.
Matthew, Tila, Toldo, you know, and you have. I'm pretty sure right now, as of now, you have Junior, one of the, if not the best striker in UPSL, if not Open Cup as well.
Yeah.
And
we're gonna
imagine
talk
you
about
have
him,
and they people leave you guys out like, oh, Renegades, oh, they're done, two men down with
Yeah.
with like just 30 minutes in. It's like it's insane.
Yeah, 23 minutes.
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah.
And me just going up with
23
30.
minutes, and we lost 2 players, you know, and one of them was Ruiz Sebastian.
Recent. That's we have
You
another
know,
exciting player.
It's just like, all I remember is like, I was so angry. My wife, you know, shout out to my wife.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, has
Mama
always
is
been
such
there
an
at every
amazing
game.
person
Mama
as well.
Renegade, everybody.
Mama
knows her,
Renegades,
Mama
yes, sir.
Renegade.
She has that fight in her too. Every time,
Yeah, she's got kicked out of games too.
yes.
You
She got
remember
that. Yeah,
those.
she got
You
kicked
know?
out. But hey,
Uh,
that's what you need, authority.
Yeah,
too.
so she, you know, I saw her face. She was like in shock, you know. And now I'm really mad. Like, I'm mad at the refs. And the guy says, call this game. I'm like, I'm now mad. And then my sister-in-law, Walker, who helps a lot, tremendous.
Yeah,
Shout
I've
out
seen
to
her too as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so I hear her voice. For some reason, a woman's voice carries in the whole, everybody's screaming. All the guys are screaming. And I hear her voice and she says, calm down and just think your way out of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I heard it. I'm like, oh shit, let me just dial it down and
And
concentrate
focus.
again. Focus. And then I look and 12 just goes out to pray. I said, you know what, we got this. I told the ref, I said, don't call the game. We want to play.
Oh, that's
He's like, are you sure? Because this can end. I'm like, yeah, we want to play. And then he was like, then he said, because the crowd, you know, now we have a crowd that supports us. Thankfully, shout out to all the fans.
yeah. They're great, especially this weather coming out to support you guys.
Yeah,
It's
they've
amazing.
been, you know, thick and thin now, you know. They were shouting, and they usually stand behind us.
I
in
know.
the fence, you know. So
And you can hear a lot of that.
you
They're
can
like,
hear,
puta!
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like,
you-
God damn,
you
bro.
hear the cursing and the you know, the all the words you could say to the ref. So the ref, yeah, I get it. He was like, whoa, that crowd, get rid of that crowd. So my sister-in-law hears it and she's like, you know, she goes to tell them, and they're rowdy,
Yeah, of
to
course,
tell
yeah.
them to clear, you know. And then I gather the team and I say, listen, you know, because I'm crazy. You know how
Yeah.
I run some of my training. I'm like, why do we try this and this? And I did it as really a punishment one time where I thought they were just joking, clowning around too much, and we needed to be serious. And I did a weird scenario where we were down to, so we play half the field, and we put 6 guys defending,
Just all
from the
defending.
starters,
Mm-hmm.
and I put 8 guys, 9 guys attacking them, whatever. And they were like, "What is this?" But it actually helped because then the training comes back. This is why I
Yeah.
go back to what training is about. The confidence was, we can do this because we done it. We play compact because we went over that,
Yeah.
and we play a front of 3, and we play for a steal and
just
the counter.
counterattack.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what
That's
happened.
what happened. Yeah.
We caught them. Matthew went for the steal, took the steal, saw Tila.
That took like 3-4 players on.
Yeah,
I think-
he just decided, I'm going to cut through. Junior made his run.
Yes. I remember the goal.
And, he's always knowing where Junior's going to be. So Tila was like, let me take another player.
It took like 3-4. Yeah. He
Yeah.
went down the line. He just went. Woo.
He just took him on and then saw Junior and placed the ball
Yeah.
nicely. And Junior, all he needs is a shot.
All he
Finish.
knows is a shot.
Is it
Yeah.
one
All he
chance.
needs is a shot.
Yeah.
And it took a while to get. I remember when I took Junior in, and
Yeah, because
it was always a back and forth.
Because it was a back and forth. Because I remember he came and then he left, and then I don't know if because maybe we had, we also had a strong attacking, which was we had John Brown, we had Rodrigo, Torito, and Torito we had like 20 goals in like a season. So
Torito was the heart and soul of that attack.
exactly. So
you know?
so I feel like at some point at that time maybe he was just back and forth. He's like, maybe I'm not gonna play, maybe I'm gonna start.
Well, because of the system.
yeah.
Because he played a different system, and our system is different. But I remember telling him, because he did leave, right? He was like, "No, I'm gonna go to Braveheart. They're gonna have this and that." And I was like, it's sad that you make a decision based on that, and I get it. But I remember, I had a conversation the second time around. Like, listen, we have to get used to you too. It's not just you learning, because he did learn the system.
Yeah.
And
It's working
but
out.
we had to also,
Adjust to it.
admittedly, as a coach, that's my job. I told him it's my job to make sure that we learn how to play to you and cater to your strength. Your strength is,
Find the opening.
and your kick is your kick.
Yeah.
I can't teach that. I can only see you and just
Score
go
out.
in awe of how he can kick the ball.
Yep.
So I told him it was a process, and it was going to be a process. And early on this season, there was a struggle, but credit to him, credit to the rest of the guys
Yeah.
who believed in him too. Like, all we knew as long as we keep trying, work harder, get him the ball, then
He's gonna
Yeah,
produce.
because I
produce.
remember
Yeah.
when we started the season, I'm always updated with the Renegades as well, and you guys tied, then you guys lost to us, and then you guys tied again. I'm not sure if you guys lost again, but it was like you guys started in a rocky start. You didn't have like that normally, like that big entrance that Renegades always have. 6-0 first game, 8-0 first second game. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So like this year around, which is like, it's been starting from the bottom, and you guys are just working your way up, and now you are where you at.
Shout out to the players, because that right there, that adjustment in our game to him, took adjustment, because you remember our offense. Our offense was like, run and gun.
Yeah.
Like we'll run, we'll pass quick. We give it to our
Attacking.
individual isolations. Like you were an isolation specialist.
Yeah, John Brown, Torito,
John Brown,
Rodrigo.
there,
Yeah, we had
give
a
them
lot
the
of
ball
players.
and they'll just burn you.
Yeah.
You've tried to defend them 1-on-1 for the whole game.
It's tough.
It's tough.
Imagine having 3 of them. Like they take me away, but you have John Brown, you have Rodrigo, and you have Torito coming at you.
And Torito won the scoring title twice.
Yeah,
I'm
sure he's
Shout
probably-
out to him, man. A big, I've always felt like losing him this season, that hurt us too,
Yeah,
because we didn't have him, for the most part this season because of what happened in Delaware,
Mm-hmm.
the injury
Yeah,
that
yeah.
happened. But hopefully he makes a complete comeback, and wherever he decides to go, you know, I always wish him success, because one thing I can tell you, Torito, when he played for Renegades,
This kid's a monster.
he
He's a monster.
I don't care what anybody can say from other teams want to put him down. That man was,
Nah, he was.
you know,
He was a good player, and I think we can all see that with the stats. He's literally won everything you could possibly think of, especially in New York City.
yeah,
And there's a reason why he's out in the Talacha and other states. I crossed him a couple
absolutely.
of times, and we could see what he could bring to the table.
At one point I remember he had 3 hat tricks in a row.
God damn.
3 hat tricks in
He
a
was
row
like,
in the UPSL.
I remember. I think I forgot what we were. Yeah, he had like a hat trick this game. The next game, he was just, and we were feeding him too. So he
Yeah.
was like, he's like, I gotta
Yeah.
score, and then you wouldn't take him out. So
Yeah.
he had to. But like with that type of players, you give them that
Yeah.
motivation. They're gonna keep giving you, bringing you
Yeah.
stuff to the table.
Absolutely, man. And shout out to him. He's a beast. He's a big and a leader in the locker room. Every time. He led by example though. Like
Yeah,
he
100%.
came and defend. He would press. He presses.
That's
you.
that's one
He
thing.
learned to shoot with his other
Yeah,
foot too,
both.
which made him
Which-
lethal.
Yeah, when you have a player like that with that they could kick both left and right,
and
it's like,
right,
how do you
yeah.
even stop that?
He's righty.
Yeah.
But the last scoring title where he won, 40% of his goals came
From
from
the
his
Left
left.
foot.
Yeah.
Wow.
You send them the ball in the air, whatever you want to do, you'll score. This kid's a goal scorer for sure.
He's a goal scorer, and in junior, right now, 8 goals in this playoff run.
Hey, that's a
You know.
big, and sometimes you don't need to score in where it don't matter, like you said. This is where it matters. This is where the players begin to show that they're made for this, because
Yeah.
you could have a player score 30 goals in the league, right? But
Mhm.
what does that do for you if you're not
Yeah, when you get to
producing that in the
playoffs.
playoffs where it
Yeah, I
really
mean
matters?
that's one thing. As much as the haters or the detractors want to say, you meet Renegades in the final, you
You
have
know
to
you're gonna
battle
get
to
it,
win
yeah.
that game.
Yeah.
You
Even this year when we were like Renegades, why do we have to play them twice? Why not just once? Why do we have to play them twice? So I already knew, like I told my team, like, we expect to play the best team in New York. That's just how it is and how I call it. Doesn't matter who they start. They have 30 players on that in that roster, and all 30 players could be the starter at any time of given moment. So
And
we
it's
have
always
and it's always. And then I told him, I was like, we'll just have to go there and play our game, and just wait for it, thankfully we got the win.
Yeah, you got the win.
But-
I give
yeah,
you
but-
that. I mean, that's great. For teams like, I think Empire also tied us.
And it's crazy because like I said, like, and this I bring back to you as well, like you see the social media and and you see the talks, and I think he recorded it, and I heard him say, I think one of the coaches says, we beat them, we got them, they're beatable. And how does that, like, you have a
Had to
run like
spice
that.
it up.
You have to spice it up. I like that. You saw
Doing my
he's
job.
He's doing job.
Yeah.
So how do you bring that to the next game? Like, okay, like, you said that about me.
Mhm.
Now I'm sure.
I mean, that's the thing about our team, right? We have a lot of competitors in there,
Yeah, for sure.
and they hear the noise. I've always said, drown out the noise. But sometimes I give him that little inspiration, saying, you know what this guy said about you? Like,
Yeah, you got to get fueled. You got to
Yeah, I
find
fuel the
Yeah.
fire sometimes, and I admit it. I can be controversial sometimes, and they say, he's cocky, this and that.
That's fine.
But I say with all due respect, just beat me, and then.
And you could always back it up. It's nothing.
No, I
like-
mean, I don't. No one says, "Oh, now the Renegades suck," because what we have done, especially coming out of the Talacha, where it's about what have you done for me lately, and like when I go in to win,
Yeah, 100%.
and I know that some some tournaments, and I get told by the organizers, there's no secret, if I put in Renegades, the tournament is fucked because the teams they
They
chicken out, they leave.
Oh,
they back
yeah?
out. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, you know that.
there's so many
son.
times where we like I talked to
Yeah.
JB as well, and they're like, "Oh, Renegades joined," so that's it. Everybody backed up. Well, why? Because it's not Boris's fault. You know what I mean? It's he brings the players to compete and to play, and that's what gives us the show. That's why we as viewers look at it and see.
Yeah.
That's why I go to watch the games, right? Because I
Mhm.
want to see a good game. I don't want to see a game. For that, I just go watch SoFi.
Yeah,
And
I
watch
mean,
these players play. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Is bringing the game into a community that never watched us. Look, let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
The blanquitos, the white people, they love soccer too, but they weren't exposed to Renegades,
No, they weren't.
And then when Renegades, happened, they were shocked. They
Yeah.
were shocked that Lansdowne, historical team, 100 years, and I think they
Yeah.
won the U.S. Open. I think the Greeks have won
I think
it.
Greeks won like 3 times, I believe.
Yeah.
shit.
Back when it was no pro teams really playing it, but some of their fans, not them now, because they know.
Yeah.
They know. If they don't know, then I would say there's something wrong mentally with you.
Of course, yeah.
Because if you don't know, then but their fans sometimes are like, who are these guys? Like, why are they beating you?
Yeah.
Like
100%.
the Greeks are having a tremendous season.
Yeah, they do.
They're undefeated there, but we did blemish your record. You lost to us.
Yep.
And they wanted it, but we want it too. So the fact that we can compete with that league, play against them, and the message is clear. We back it up twice now,
2 years in a row.
2 years in a row, going through their league. They can't say, "Oh, they got lucky," this and that, because they try to throw shade at you. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
of
saying?
course, and I see that a lot because and we bring it back to what we were just talking about when I was there and we were Cyprian and they were just like, you know what I mean? This UPSL has nothing. This is EPSL, which is now is APSL, and now you go on to beat the best teams in that league. How do you motivate your players in that aspect? How do you go in each game knowing that I gotta play Empire today, then I gotta go play the Greeks, then I gotta go play Bravehearts, then I gotta go play. It's just consecutive
My
games.
October schedule was
Crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
and
I
it
watched
was
all of them.
taxing on the team because you have to bring it back up. You got to bring them back up.
You got to
know, like,
rotate players.
Yeah, we have to. If we're not motivated, we're gonna get smoked.
Yep.
It happens. And
So how did you basically go up on playing those APSL teams now? Like how do you view them or like what was going through your mind in the moment?
I mean, in the moment, look, I knew one thing.
Payback?
Payback was one.
Payback.
Man.
Man.
Because
I'm glad you
you,
got the
you,
payback.
you talk about, now I want to see you back it up.
Yep.
And
this is where it matters. The Open
Yeah.
Cup.
It's
Everybody wants to
Open Cup.
qualify.
Everybody wants to qualify. So I heard one comment from a person said, "Oh, but you don't play a full season, dude. You don't want us for a full season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you that right now.
You know what it is
You
too?
don't want us for a full season because what you get on every game with us is the
It's gonna be
same
about it.
thing. It's a battle. You do not want to battle with us all season because
and
I
sorry to
have
cut,
the manpower.
sorry to cut you off in that, and they don't know that you probably play in 3, 4, 5 different leagues, and they only probably play once a week every week. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like you're consistently playing. They don't know that you have another 11 outside waiting to start. So it's a lot.
Yeah. And that when, I think one of the players, good player, I think this is the right back on their team. I forgot his name.
For which team
on
was this?
Lansdowne
Oh, Lansdowne.
was when they were scoring, right, and we kept on coming, and then they scored again, and he's like, "Oh, you're not coming back no more,"
You know?
right? And I hear him say it, and I start to laugh. I say to myself, "Well, you don't know what's coming."
Yeah.
Honestly, you
Storm
don't
is
know what's
coming.
coming because I know my team, right? I know that you can play us evenly, those 70, 80 minutes,
The last.
but we own the last 10, 15 minutes on a game, and I say it with pride because I know when I make a change,
Yeah.
my level ain't gonna drop. You know, because like you said, all of my players are capable of starting.
100%.
They're high level. You're gonna tell me I put in Michi, my level
Michi,
drops in the
no.
middle? No.
No way. No
You're gonna
shot.
tell me I bring in
Eric?
Eric Turcios, my level's gonna drop? My God, you just ran a marathon. Now you gotta face this guy coming at you with that speed,
Yeah, it's fast as
know?
hell, yeah.
or you're gonna face
No, even if you take out, let's say you put Kilmar in, you have all these players as well. I think you
I have
have
the deepest bench.
yeah, you have like player by player. You could bring anybody in and it'll still make a difference.
Wow. Center back.
Yeah,
All right. You just won 12 rounds against Big 12. How did that work out for you?
Big 12's
And
a
now
monster.
I can bring in Wah, who's just another brick who's fresh.
Yeah.
You know, on Dylan,
Dylan's fuck,
and
man, his speed.
Dylan has started a lot of games, and Dylan, I can just basically based on the matchups and what I have on the bench, these guys know because they've gotten starts. Like I bring in these guys, and they're monsters. And they come in with that motivation that I want to perform, I want to contribute.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Mauricio.
Angelo.
I mean, yeah, my level doesn't drop. It only increases.
It increases, yep.
Because it looks like a drastic increase because you look how many times we score in the last 10 minutes of a game. It's insane.
Even in overtime, I think you guys go 2-2, but then it ends up 4-2 or 5-2.
Yeah, because it's just too much.
They die out.
There's some good teams, but they don't have the bench. I have the bench. I can put any position I want, which is the advantage I have. I'm fortunate to have that.
Yep.
But getting the group to first buy into that,
It's tough.
that's always tough.
So how do you get them to buy in? Because I know it's not just one day to another, not one conversation to another.
It's a process.
Every player wants to start.
Every player wants to start. You know it, you play.
Yeah.
You know it, you play. Every player, and it's good. It's good to have that confidence that I can play. I deserve, The only one that, I would say at this point, there's 3 players that have to be starters
In your team?
in my team right
Who
now.
would it be?
Junior, okay, Big 12, Tila, and I would have to say Fort Toldo
Yeah. I agree with you.
because they're
Now-
monsters.
Now a question for you, right? If you had to choose between one forward, Junior or Torito?
That's a hard one.
He's trying to get you into
Hey,
a
he's
situation
getting me.
right now.
I mean, you know what I would do because you know me, I'm crazy. I would change the formation to
formation?
make
Play
it a
both of them.
4-4-2.
Play 4-4-2 or 3-5-2.
A 3-5-2 because you know what? It's
Good
like
response.
Get a response. He didn't leave no one out. He didn't leave no one
no,
out.
because you know what it is? It's like I know Torito is Torito,
Yep.
and not to have him on the field is like almost a sin,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
not having Junior
Junior.
now out is a sin.
Mhm.
So I would try to figure out ways to try to make it happen where they can both be on the field. Like right now, I do it with Rodrigo, another one,
No, he's a tank.
Rodrigo is one of the most versatile players you can have.
Lefty, righty as well. Like he goes up and down, hustles, brings the ball up, brings the ball down.
He does the
That's
little things.
Yep.
The only thing that everybody gets on him is because
He doesn't stop arguing with the refs all the time. All the
he
time.
said it.
Rodrigo, come on, bro, get
Yeah.
back, come on.
I mean, that's Rodrigo's bread and butter. Shout out to
And,
Rodrigo.
and shout out to Rodrigo, yes. And it's crazy how I don't think I ever seen him got a red.
No, because you know what? He's respectful when he talks to them.
Respectful, yes, correct.
He's respectful. Like he'll say, you got it wrong, this and that, and look at me, and like,
Mhm,
but
yeah.
he's never disrespected a ref. Now I get calls from the league, like, hey, calm him down.
There's a lot of people that need to calm down, yeah. But it's I feel like it's the Argentinian thing where like they
Yeah.
just love the game, man.
Yeah, no, he lives, breathes, eats
Yeah.
the game, But he's versatile. Like he's really a 9.
The
But
left?
Junior's having his moment. Just like when Torito was here, right?
Yeah.
When Torito played on the top, I made it work because Rodo's like, no problem. I go to the left or the right side. I don't care.
Yeah, he's a player where
know,
you could put him anywhere. He'll
You
do
could
the
put
job.
him anywhere, and he can work. And then you have workhorses like Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew's another one too. Yep.
Although he doesn't have to play the whole game, but I gave him that freedom. I said, listen, Matthew, I know sometimes you want to pace yourself. I don't need you to pace yourself. I need you to go to 100. Because trust me, that bench, we got ballers.
Yep.
They come in,
And
they'll get the
respond.
job done. And he was injured early this season.
I saw. Yeah, he was out for a couple of games,
And that hurt us, right? Because he's the
he's the playmaker.
creator.
He's the playmaker creator where like he sees a vision. He's not scared to play that ball. He I'm not gonna lie, he's a really good player with
Yeah.
the ball in his feet.
He's a complete player in that sense, He does what's necessary,
He doesn't put himself in a position where he's like making himself look bad or give a ball bad pull and affect the team.
He loses the ball, he goes fight for it.
Yeah, he goes back and he hits or whatever, pulls whatever he has.
He will fight for that
Yeah.
ball. And that's the thing, that's the renegade way, I've always been big on that, like you can't play on my team if you're not willing to defend.
Yeah.
And some players, I'm not gonna name names, but they never liked it. They never liked the defending shit. I like attack.
Yeah.
Even Sebas, who great player, Sebastian Ruiz.
Yeah.
When he came to me, it was a shock to him. You gotta play defense
Play
here.
defense. Yeah. Even with me when I was there, I was playing basically Reese's position. We played a 3-5-2.
Yeah.
My ass, I had 12. And 12 doesn't just scream at. He's like, Santos,
Come back.
carry the fuck back. I'm like, damn, this guy I gotta put my head back and just run.
Yeah.
But it's
I mean, that's the mentality. First thing we have that mentality. You got to defend.
Yep.
If you're not defending, because that's one of the things when you say how I pick my lineup. If I see that you're not willing to defend, then you're just giving me a half-ass game, and I mean that in the most respectful way.
No, I agree.
Because if you think you're too good enough that you're not going to go and defend
Yeah.
and make it harder on the rest of the team, then you don't belong here.
Yeah.
Because our forwards defend. If Toro is gonna backtrack and follow a guy, there was one game that he followed the dude all the way back, beyond, I would say maybe 20 yards off, and he recovered the ball.
Mhm.
Defending is part of the game. And, Junior presses now.
Yeah. Never seen Junior press. Now he's like, he's adapting to the
Because,
to the
it's
system.
contagious. Like when you have guys like Tila,
Toldo.
who, it's contagious. Like, le meten,
Yeah.
they're like, hey, no, why aren't you defending? Why aren't you doing, because they'll shame you into defending. When you see
no,
efforts
100%.
from Big 12, Cáceres telling you that you have to defend, then you better defend.
Yeah,
Because
for
those
sure.
guys are vocal. I don't have to be the policeman all the time. But now for us, it's second nature. Like, I see talents come, and I don't know. They come in with this mentality of defend. Like, what are you talking about? No, you don't belong here. You don't belong here.
Yeah.
Because there's great talent out there who play only one way, and you got to run back and defend.
I agree. I think it goes back to what you were saying about how they need a. That's the difference, because there's a lot of people that have talent, but if you need to fit into a system, you need to follow the rules, follow the be in the same page mentally,
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, the culture of
And the culture.
when you have a culture of win-win, it's like I tell the boys that all the time, and I always tell them they're gonna hate you. Shout out to all the ligas that we played in, Westbury, Robinson,
Brown,
and they're like,
Paparraya,
son el
Flores.
mejor pagado, we don't want them, of course they're gonna win. They don't see the sacrifices these boys do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but they don't. You go out and train in 20-degree weather
Yeah.
in the cold.
Oof,
Okay,
man, we used to
I
rain.
made them do it, and then they asking me why I pay them. Yeah, I pay them because you know
They
what?
put in the work.
They worked all day. They come home
rainy day practicing.
on rainy day. Do we cancel practices, Santa? No, we don't.
Rainy day,
It
cold
doesn't.
as hell.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. If it's snowing, we're out there shoveling and saying we want the field.
Yeah.
You know, so they only like to see. Oh, they talk. They don't know the training. They don't know the mentality that these boys go through. You know, they don't see. You know,
I think the community as well. Like we met with Caceres. He's also a big locker room guy. You could tell, and I think you got a lot of players as well that help.
oh yeah, I mean, I can't
I
police
think that's
them
very
all
important.
myself.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to be, certain players you have to have in place to help police, And, you have a Cáceres, you have 12, you have them saying, hey, you're not going to go play this weekend because we got an important game.
Yeah.
And we'll police you if you have, because then you don't get to play. It's
Yeah.
very simple, You don't play, you don't get paid, But the thing is with the practices too, like having you go out after you come home and the fields, which has always been a struggle here.
Yeah.
You get it at 9:00 because you have to go after all the kids go.
Yeah.
The only
go
time
late.
we get to have the fields at the times we want
It's like 9 to 11, right?
is
That's
9
late.
9 to 11:30.
That's a
Some of these
sacrifice
guys-
right there. You just
It's
want to
a-
get
it is
home
a
and stay home.
sacrifice.
You just want to
Yeah.
get home and stay home.
I mean, they get nagged by their girls, the significant other.
no, yeah, of course.
And then you got to wake up early, because a lot of these guys do construction, landscaping. Matthew lives in Jersey,
Jersey. Imagine.
and he has options. Let's be honest.
Yeah, of
You
course.
know,
You guys, we could stay in New Jersey Alliance. I'm sure they'll pay him really well over there.
Oh,
All those
those
teams
New
in New
Jersey
Jersey
teams.
teams.
but there was a loyalty, right? He's
Sacrifice and
been the
loyalty.
dog here since the beginning.
The beginning
of
yeah.
this. And, shout out to Matthew. Like, these guys are loyal, and I have to be loyal to them. And, I argue with them too. Like, something like,
happens,
I get
though.
it.
It
I get it.
happens.
Like, you come home from work, and the last thing you want to go
You
do
just-
is drive an hour and a half and then come
and
to.
then, and the rainy day, cold as hell, and then you're here like practicing. You want to hear from Boris.
They don't see the sacrifice
Nah,
that
they
these
No,
guys
but they do a lot
you
of
know?
sacrifice.
And then they wonder, I love when the owners of teams come to me and tell me, I paid him to play for me, and they didn't play like the Renegades play, like this and that. And I'm like, I tell them, okay, listen, complaints about who you hired because they were a renegade, that's on you.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to use them,
Yeah, how to
that's
use 'em,
on
yeah.
you. But the second thing I say, the reason maybe if you just did more, which Venegas did, they
Yeah.
won, use more renegades and they'll understand each other, because guess what? They play together and they train together.
Yeah.
Every week.
So you see that they know where the
have
people
chemistry.
are going.
Yeah.
But when you say, I'm going to get this guy from here, and this guy from over here, and get him here, and they don't know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
have
they-
Pacha and Vanegas and Copa Flores, like played well, but it's not like he's understanding with all the other players that are coming from Florida. And
Yeah.
it's tough. Yeah,
They don't know
That's
how to
why-
adjust it, like you said, adjust the team to get the best out of certain players.
yeah. Like, should I go here or should I go there, or what if I do this run or don't do it? But like when it's in Renegades, it's like second to none. They already know exactly what player is gonna be.
Oh, yeah, because they know the quality of the pass that's coming. When Pacha makes a run, you better be there on the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
side, because you're
and
going
he's
to hear
fast,
it
too.
from me. You're going to hear it from my coaches.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the other thing. You can't underestimate having quality coaches. I would say, David Lawrence is one of the, hands down, one of the best trainers.
He's a good trainer. Yeah,
I say he's an excellent trainer. What he does, getting us physically fit, is like up there. Then on the academy side, you have Oscar Silveria, Uruguayan, which he already
yeah,
had
yeah.
his thing going, and
Then they won nationals, right? They won national. Like
they're the
like
first
team.
Renegade team to win a national, right? So, you have that not only will and stuff, and then when I met with them, I said, "This is how I want to play," you know, and they're like, "All right, if we're gonna play this way, we have to train this way. We have to do this thing," and Tom keeps me.
Tom wanted to kill me when we versed when we versed you guys. Jesus. But I
Can I ask you
mean,
something?
Yeah.
Do you want Santa back next season?
Joe, what a great.
Do you want him back next season?
Hey,
You think
listen,
he can perform
listen.
on your team with
Hey,
this
listen.
mindset? And you think you can make him buy in again?
I
Or
mean, the thing is getting
I'm
him
ready
to
for
buy in
nationals.
because talent-wise,
100%, yeah.
Santa is there.
what does he need to do to buy you in?
What do I need to do?
What's gonna convince you?
I mean, I think with Santa, it was one. I know he had his career in banking. he
Yeah, I
was
had my
doing,
career banking and
and
stuff.
it was hard for him to get out to the practices. No lie, and I think it came to a head when Turizo.
Yeah, we could touch like all those subjects. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was plain and simple with you. My situation, my
Mhm.
career wise and stuff like that, and you knew I was one of the top assisters as well as top scorer in that team, alongside of Torito, and to leave me out in the to leave me out basically in regional semis and finals, it kind of was like I was like, what just happened,
Yeah.
And we spoke about that a couple of
Yeah,
times
we
through the
did.
phone,
We
and
did. Definitely.
the
Definitely.
system, and this, and when we brought it to the new season, you said this, listen, give it a try and give it like this. But I just knew I had a bad feeling, at least as a player that I am. I knew it wasn't gonna work out. Like I knew I was gonna go with that season without playing.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things that in Renegades, certain players are used to like I start, but some of them are like I know, because here's the thing, like let's take Mauricio.
Mhm.
Mauricio was talacha all the way, right?
Yeah,
He's
he
like
was all that.
um, undisciplined, just like but talented, right? Angelo was more structured
More
because
structured because yeah.
he had the structure because he's younger. He was able to get structure from his earlier teams, and then when he came to us, um, it was easy for him to fit like a glove. But
Yeah.
his brother was a different animal
Hmm.
because his brother
It
is
was just raw. He was just from like the
raw
street,
talent,
and then he came in.
getting caught offside so many times
Yep.
until we had to learn to tell him how to read the defense, and and he's matured. Like he had a struggle to transition from Division 1 where he also like lit it up. He lit him up. But when you come to Premier, the
It's
defense,
a
the
lot different.
level on the defense is much better
Yep.
than Division 1. When you step into defenders who can push you around and this and that. That's why I even told Maudi one time. You see how Neymar? He's built like you, but he's smart.
He has the brains for that.
Yeah, you have to have the brains for it because you have to know when to take on players, and when not to take on players, and pass around. In which he was one of those. I'm gonna take them on all the time, like but
Yeah, 100%.
and slowly he's learned in the process, and I have him because he can come in 5-10 minutes and
And do something.
do something, and that's the thing is having those kind of players that can make a difference at any time. Like I'm fully confident that if I start Angelo and Mauri,
They'll produce.
they'll
They'll
produce.
produce.
And it's that simple because I am confident, and I always tell them like, how it used to be. I make a change. Why'd you take me out?
Yeah,
This
100%.
and
And
that. I don't want to be subbed, and nowadays it's like we come out, everybody's happy,
yeah. I
we
see
go
that.
in, this game against Chicago Nation, we just jumped all over them,
Right from the start. Yeah.
from the jump.
From the jump, you can see it.
We said, these guys, And again, those are the hate about the national, again, thinking that we're a pushover or something. Like, I don't understand where this mentality comes from, but they got the rude awakening, right? They in the first 25 minutes, they got
It was already
punched in the
3-0.
face.
I was like, all
Yeah,
right,
they got
tuned in.
punched in the face. And,
1-0.
it's hard to recover when you got punched in the face, because they were a better team than the first 25 minutes. I
Yeah.
can tell you that. But they thought we were going to be like, oh, Chicago Nation.
Yeah.
And no disrespect for no team. We're not coming like that.
Yeah,
We're
of
not
course.
built that way. We're different. We're not built that way. We're going to come at you and you swing and you probably score. But we'll come back at
You'll
you.
come score 2-3 more goals.
Yeah, it's fine. To us, it's like we're here to compete. And I think they got shocked, right?
Yeah, and it's too late at that point. Once they got shocked, it's too late. 3-0 down first half, I believe, and then
Yeah.
after that, it was just,
After
Game
that,
over.
it was just like, okay, play the game, play the ball. The time is on our side, and take our key players out, put key players in. The level doesn't drop. We
Doesn't
got another
drop.
score.
Fair
you
enough.
know, so I mean that's the thing. But it took them 25 minutes to wake up.
Yep.
And that time is just too long. But that's why I always emphasize moments matter.
Yep.
Like we have learned over the years how to absorb a punch, because that comes with the maturity of the team. You can come and score. I think like Lansdowne, I think they scored quick, right? But we're gonna keep playing our game. We're gonna come attack you. And when they went up, I think 3-2. I think they got too confident, and I'm like, and I knew we were gonna come back.
Yeah.
I just knew we were gonna come back, and I knew that because we jumped on the Greeks too. Again, they thought we were going to sit back. That's just not me.
Yeah.
That's not the style of our game, and we certainly are not gonna sit back. We intend to take the middle. That's why our formation speaks for itself. To this day, I know some coaches don't even know what formation we run, which I guess is fine. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, as long as
And I'm not going to disclose it. I'm like, do your homework.
Yeah, do your homework.
Do your homework.
They'll eventually. I mean, once they realize the formation, it's too late already. You already lost, and then you're in the national finals.
Yeah, I'm like, I was shocked at the way, because I think we jumped on the Greeks too, 2-0. So they woke up saying, "Oh shit, we gotta defend because they're gonna keep coming."
It was 2-0, and it was like raining.
It was raining. It was 2-0. We jumped on them. Of course, at that point, they're having a tremendous season. Every team respects them.
They thought you were gonna go and
the
respect
bus
them.
and play with 2 6s and defend, and like that's not us.
Yep.
I don't care what you did in that league. You're gonna come and you're gonna feel us. We're coming for you. We're going in. We're taking the game to you. I've always said it to the guys. We're about attacking. Yeah. I always tell, because Tom always says, remember defense. Remember defense.
Yeah, remember defense, yeah.
Tom is big on defense, and I'm like, I'm with it too. But I'm like, I'm not going to
be afraid or come out afraid and show the other team what you got.
Exactly, because I tell them, you never know who's watching. You never know what can lead to what. And that's the name of the game. When I did the international games, because people call me crazy. No one thought I was gonna have a game against Comunicación.
That was a big game, and we were winning 3-0.
Yeah.
That was a crazy.
And who
game.
attacked them? We did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right from the jump, first half 3-0.
But that's what you have to do. Like, it's okay to respect the team, and I expect a team. I get that a lot in the UPSL, where teams just come and just like barricade the back.
Of course.
And I'm like, damn, man, have some faith in your attack, man. Attack. Because, there's some teams that will attack, again, that's why I put Braveheart at a different
category
level, because they come to get the game,
Yeah, they're
when
good
it's a
teams as
game
well.
against them, I know that they're here to win. I know they're bringing the game to us, and I know that they're not going to. Like, I know Mo, how he played us. He played the counter on us.
with
He-
Mehdi.
Yeah, with Mehdi.
How'd you
So-
feel about him?
Mehdi's awesome. Mehdi's a beast, man.
Beast.
He's a beast.
I know towards the end they just wanted to kill him, but it's part of the game,
It is.
I know it's part of the game, and,
Oh no, listen.
and I know how
Mehdi knows.
Tila is. I know how, and he knows how they are as
Yeah.
well. I'm pretty sure he's seen them before in like
Oh,
APSL.
absolutely, Mehdi. Mehdi. You know that he played with us in Copa Raelo.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So I knew Mehdi. Mehdi's a beast. But you have Victor,
Yeah.
who I knew lethal with his passes.
Mhm.
So I knew Mo. Mo is one of those coaches that I respect because he knows the game and he knew our team.
Yeah, he
know?
definitely they go and study out the teams and see exactly what they have, what they don't have, what are they gonna bring, and he just implements it in whatever the game is gonna be.
So shout out to Mo, because I know that's one of the coaches I do respect, because I know how he game planned it, and it worked out for him, right? Playing the counter, hitting Mehdi when it counted, those quick counters and hitting Mehdi, right? So you got to use what works, right? And that does work. But it's like with Braveheart as well. Like, they're coming, they're not afraid, they're coming, and they're bringing the game to you.
Yeah,
And-
of course, 100%.
And that's why I respect the hell out of them, because I know if there's one team that always will compete to win, it's them. But then I had all these other teams. I think the team you played for,
Yeah.
which I think
But what do you basically tell, like, or what do you have like to say to all those teams that doubted you throughout the years? Because throughout the years when we were playing, it was like, oh, they're not gonna get nowhere. They're a good team, but they're just a good team in New York. And like now that you're beating all these teams in all New York City APSL teams, you're doing you're going into the second. This is the second year in a row that you're qualifying for US Open. Like, oh, what is that negativity you bring out to now?
I mean, that to me is just like shows, I know now deep down they don't want to admit it, but even the haters like watching us.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I say it in the because you can't if you're, the only reason you have haters is because you're doing something right.
Right.
With success, right?
Mhm.
So I feel like the moments, like I tell our players, you're always gonna get people that hate you, and that comes with the territory because you're doing something right. You're not, if you're in somebody's ear, it's because you're doing something right. And I know people who go and just go to root against us and want to see us lose.
Yeah.
But I
you
love
have
them
those-
just as much. You know
those
why?
black
Because
sheeps.
yeah, you know what though? At least they're watching.
Got an extra
Or they
viewer.
want to put a comment there. They're supposed to win. Okay, no problem. But are we delivering? Yeah,
Yes.
I think we're delivering. And the point is, it's like my goal, my ultimate goal, is to go pro
Yeah.
here in New York.
I was
And
just
I
about to
think-
ask you, is that's what really keeps you
Yeah,
driving
Moving
forward?
Yeah, it definitely does. And I see this team as it is right now is able to compete in the USO. I really do. And it might be a stretch, maybe I would need another key players here and there, but overall, I see a lot of our players can be pro. And that's the goal, right? And the goal also is to see, like Brown, you mentioned him. He just re-signed again, and they
in the USL one.
and they re-signed him right before my game, so he
Oh,
can't
he couldn't
even
play? Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw him
so-
play the game before that.
Yeah.
So then I saw him again,
So
and
then
I'm like, why is he in the
thinking in
stands?
my head, they saw him play and they're like, you know what, let's lock him
Let's
in
lock him
now.
in before he
Because
gets hurt.
he's such a talent.
Talented
you know?
player, yeah, when he came in.
Talented player and, coachable, like everything, right? And, you know, it's a pleasure to have him. And then when he signed, I'm like, uh-oh. And the calls kind of started coming in, hey, you resigned, you
You can't play.
you can't play, and which is fine, we still won.
But I just don't want to cut you off there. But what do you? I mean, from my point of standpoint, I always looked at it as in, why are you hating so much on this person that he brings us international games? He's bringing the best players that you could possibly think to promote them, right? And I'm thinking like this is a coach, a person that wants us, the Hispanic community, to come out. Why are we bashing him? Why are all you guys, like, for example, right? And I look at it and I'm like, till this day I don't understand that. You're making it possible for the kids in Long Island that don't get the viewership, that don't get the eye on, and you're bringing them to make sure that they reach that potential that they could possibly can, or the opportunity they never got the chance to, bringing them to UPSL, bringing them to these big tournaments, bringing international teams to come down, going into doing your own professional club. Like, you're opening doors for the community, and yet they just don't realize that. They just want the negativity. And like, how do you feel towards that?
I mean,
Doesn't like sometimes make you want to stop? Because I know Nelson was doing it at some point, but Nelson stopped.
Yes.
Obviously he had his own thing, and at that point, like, not saying you took over, but like you stepped in and you wanted to implement all of that, give the kids opportunity that we probably never had, and probably never will, because the system is pay to play, like you said.
Yes.
Like, what do you respond to that? Like,
I mean, my response to it is I don't do it for them. I don't do it for them. I'm doing it for every single player. I can take the attacks on me. I don't care. You want to attack me? Attack me. Don't. When I get mad and I start, then I start to troll.
Yeah.
Because you see me troll, I will troll you. Because if you say something stupid about my players, then I'm gonna troll you.
Yep.
Okay, because you don't know him. You don't know the sacrifice, and I do it for the players. I don't do it for them. They want to hate, they can hate. I don't. To me, I'm not gonna live in the moment that they hate. Now, do I like to throw it in their face when we win? And I say it, when people say, "Oh, they call themselves the king of New York," then come and take the crown. That's my answer to you. Come and take the crown.
Yep.
And yeah, heavy is the crown that one wears. When Game and Frame started, came to me and say, you came out of nowhere and we want to cover you and this and that. I say, yeah, but remember, we do things our way. And, if you're going to interview me, you're going to see I'm going to be straightforward with what I feel. I'm always going to say what I say and mean what I say. And if I don't back it up that day, I will shake your hand and say, you won. You can ask Mo. When he won, I said, you won.
Yep.
I don't care. Like, to me, it's all about the competition. And if, if we say, and I didn't invent it. I think that was, I don't know if it was Adolfo who actually gave us the moniker King of New York, and he put it on his page. I believe that's how it came
I think
out.
I think that he basically, since we were basically winning everything at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So he gave us the moniker King of New York, and then
Everybody just started saying like otherwise.
yeah, otherwise, and I'm like, okay, then you know what? Then beat us.
Beat us, yeah.
Beat us, and then yeah, you can say you beat us. That's what I say. I'm like, and a lot of these guys, the newer teams who have come up, are saying, yeah, you're the team to beat, and we got a target, and we know we got the target, and I know that I'm the one putting it out there, and sometimes the players are like, yo, you put it, but I'm like, I'm confident in our players, I'm confident in who wears that Renegade shirt is gonna go out there and perform, so, like, let's take the tournament. We didn't. I knew we were gonna win the second one with the tags.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, I knew. I wasn't even here for it because unfortunately dealing with my dad. But I knew we were gonna win. I know I have the deepest team and everything, and I have my indoor specialist that I know
Of course, yeah.
will turn it up. Latin Power, who won the tournament,
With
Copa
the
Raelo.
40,000, I think.
Yeah, the no, they won the one that we they beat us in the
I think it was
final
in PK. No, it was 1-0 or 2-1. What was it in?
2-1, I believe.
Oh yeah, something like
I
that.
think
Yeah.
it went to PKs.
Oh, it went to PKs. Yeah,
It went to
yeah. What's
PK.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, they can. And shout out to them. They amassed, Sebastian Gocochea. They had a tremendous, Talacha players that know how to win. And they assembled a good group. And Julito,
Yeah, of course. Quality
guys
players.
that know us and know how we play. And we had to play the UPSL game.
Yeah, so
people don't know.
I heard you had like 3 games that day. You got
Yeah.
the Division 1, the Division 2.
I sent out players, in the
Yeah.
final. So I was like, my guys, I can't sacrifice that game for this
for
tournament.
something
But
bigger.
no matter what, I have confidence in the players I had on the field and on the bench that day. And you lose. Okay. But then he thought himself as, whatever.
Under
like,
new hot shot
You're
now.
new. Okay. Don't think I'm not going to come back.
Yeah.
All right, because I think that's the mistake that a lot of these teams have about me and not knowing me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, me and the team, we take notes. Although I didn't even face them because I think they got eliminated as controversy, and I don't get into that whole controversy
Mhm.
about goal, not goal, this and that. Because you know what, at the end of the day, like I always say, it's about moments, and the moments, if you don't capitalize, because we all play on the same situation, like same, there's no VAR.
And the refs are not.
The refs aren't perfect. I've had calls that have killed me.
Yep.
Live with it. It's
part of the
part
game.
of the game. It's part of the game. I had, I like Lopez owner and stuff, and he fell victim to a call not being called his way. And I get it. It's a blown call. But you learn to live with it and then say, okay, do better next time, and don't get yourself in that situation where
There-
you're depending on one
on
call
goal.
to
Yeah.
put you through. Because if you look at that tournament, the last one with tags, we didn't go to no penalties. We didn't have to do none of that because we just
6-3, I believe the first game. Second game, you guys blown out 2, and then the final was like 6-2 or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
we're not here to play that little game. We're here to we know that in these tournaments you cannot hold a tight game because a tight game can lead to anybody winning.
Yep.
And you have to put them away. And that's the thing about what we talk about always is when we had the opportunity, put them away.
Yeah.
And
And he was up 3-1, so you can't really say like, oh,
Yeah.
it was 1-1 and that.
I feel for him. I really do, because I know it's an investment, right? You put in an investment, and you wanna.
But you already know that when you go to that, like I mean, at that point when like that you're sacrificing, so that whatever happens, it's
Yeah.
part of it.
It's part of it, and you have to lose in order to win, and you
Yeah.
have to. We have one. The other day, someone told, "How many titles do you have?" I'm like, honestly, I think Javi just.
He
put
just
up a
posted. I
video.
saw. I was like,
He
God
just,
damn, he has no space.
We don't even have space.
Yeah.
For all the ones that we have won, and it's right there. Like, I think north of 25
It's a lot of
trophies, championships. And, I hope to, continue building, and I want to continue to build it in the pro here, and, continue to build, because you know me.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
always thinking next step. I'm hoping to get all the investors together and make that push here with a well-known brand that we are now. Hopefully winning the national title, which is the goal, will propel us to get that. Because, here is expensive.
It's very expensive, which a lot of teams don't come out here. Florida,
And
maybe.
then, I'm going to switched my focus to now Frontera Renegades, which shout out to them. They have come into
Yeah, how did that happen? I know we were in midst of of UPSL. We had tags league, and then we were playing like 60 different leagues that year. I don't know. I just know that we Santa on the roster. I'm looking at my name. Okay, I'm there, so I just go.
Yeah.
But how did that happen? I know you were back and forth in Uruguay. I do want to
the
touch that subject. How did that end up happening? How did that go upon?
You know, thankfully in this game I've been blessed. Like, you know, I meet the right people. You know, Silveria,
Jonathan?
pro, yeah, and his uncle,
Oscar?
Oscar.
Oh, yeah, Oscar. Okay.
Yeah, so he puts me on to Muyala, who I didn't know. You know, I had met the dude, but I didn't know that Javier Muyala. Shout out to him. His son played for me, right? He came from Italy, and you know, off season, says, "Yeah, I want to play." Good center back. I think you remember him. He played. He didn't play that long because he had to go back to Italy. And then he got hurt over there.
What was his name?
Muyala. His name is
I think
Muyala too.
I think I remember him.
Yeah, and he Pedro, I think, but no one called him that. They called him Muyala. And then he gets hurt. I mean, I met his dad. I didn't know that he was in, you know, heavily in Uruguay, right? Then Oscar gets a call saying, "Oh, you know, there's a possibility of a team called Frontera Rivera, and the city's name is Rivera. It's the second city of Uruguay, and they had all sorts of issues where, you know, the players weren't paid and they weren't allowed to come back and stuff. They had a history of being in the, they had been in the B, and in the A they ascended, and then but now it was all in shambles. You know, they had a stadium.
That's how, yeah, I see that.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, you're telling me that these guys in 20 years have not been able to come back? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I go and see the city. You know, the people wanted the team back. You know, like, you know, the fandom. Like, it's different over there. Over there, football is life.
It's
you
life.
know, Uruguay is like you have to go there to understand it. Like, you know, you're from Peru. You know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, the people are like, it's life. You know,
football's life over there compared to here. Here is it's different.
Yeah, here is different. Hopefully, it starts to change because talent is
tough.
here.
It's tough.
But it's hard here.
We've been hearing that for the past since I was like 16 to 10 years ago.
But it will, though.
I think it will. I just saw there's a USL team opening in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. FC.
We got the island, and we got New York City FC. So hopefully,
well, I mean,
but I got a question. So right, you see all these teams building up as a professional atmosphere, right? You're a professional, joining a professional league. What do? Do you scout other? Do you scout other professional players, or do you scout or local players? Right, because a lot of these coaches, they're like, why am I gonna trust a player that is not played professional, has a professional background? So what do? I contact professional players. Look at Cosmos, signed Sebastian Gonzati, a player that is a professional player, played for the Cosmos before, but why not sign somebody new?
Yep.
But and again, I could be wrong again, but what do you do in that aspect?
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, and that's the thing. In Frontera Rivera, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Carrasco, big time coach. You know, shout out to him too. You know, amazing mind when it comes to football. You know, an awesome coach. You know, was an awesome player, but I think even higher level coach. You know?
Yeah, I
learned a lot from him. Like, you know, formed a friendship with him, and you know, he helped me out a lot. You know, one thing I'm gonna tell you that he is like you. It's like, you know, I go watch games. He goes, I see talent. Talent is talent. It's just, this is where coaching. That's when coaching matters, right? Because that's what he says. I could either make him believe in himself that he doesn't break, because a lot of players have doubt. You know,
Yeah.
they won't say it, but they have doubt. You know, because in America, in the MLS is just as guilty. They bring in the proven player
Yeah.
from other leagues who's a little older. That's why they call it the geriatric league, you know, because they don't want to, they put in all this investment into something and they don't want to take the chance on young players,
Exactly.
right? Whereas in Uruguay, it's a constant machine. Over there, the mentality is different. The mentality is young, talent, I take them. You're talking about a population of 2 million, 2.5 million people.
Mm-hmm.
And look how many players they have in every league around the world.
Yeah.
You know, I think they are only third in exportation of players around the world. You know, Argentina being the juggernaut that they are right now is
Yeah,
number
they're
one.
providing a lot.
Brazil.
Brazil.
But these countries are way bigger population. And you're telling me a population of 2.5 million people can churn out all these world class players. I need to see what they're drinking. And the Carrasco says in Uruguay, the mentality is the young player.
Yeah.
Like he's already born ready. You just have to
Get
lead
it out of
him
out there.
to the mountain, you know, show him the way. He's already born ready, you know. There's a difference, you know. So over there the mentality is anybody can make it, you know? So the mentality is different because here there's players with doubt. It's not for me. I'm going to give up. I'm not going to do. And there's the problem, right? Because they look at the the medovals where you pay $5,000,
Yeah.
and you know,
The
God bless them.
gotchas.
That's for their system and stuff. You ask me how much we charge for the for our UPSL Players Academy. It's a steal. You know, we're not about that. I'm about
Giving the opportunity for the kids, and as
right,
well as developing them
right.
the early stages.
And I see the bias. Dude, I applied for, and I don't care they're hearing it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I applied for their MLS Next, saying the same things I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
And you believe that they came back and said, "Oh, you haven't been in like." So I want to hear what I'm interested in hearing what they want to say if I win the national title.
Yeah.
What possible reason would you have for denying this application when I'm telling you I'm doing it for cheaper? And believing and putting these kids in systems where they don't have the opportunity. As much as these teams would like to say the gotchis, the Merovos, and all that stuff, and that they are about giving opportunity. Dude, how many Latino families do you know can afford that kind of stuff?
Not
Not
even
many.
in my time.
You know?
Not many.
And I dare them to say otherwise, that I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, then why do I have such good players that you never even heard of?
Yep.
That you never even seen them? That you never even never seen them? Well, they're not. What did they play MLS Night? Did they play? Where did they play? Did they play ECNL? Where did they play? You know, like, and then
But see, that's the thing where like, you know, when Julian mentions, oh, but we have the Long Island, the islands. That's what it's called.
they're new.
The
I don't know
Brooklyn-
what
Brook-
they don't
Brooklyn
even.
FC.
What culture do they have of winning and understanding the game?
I don't.
Are they really gonna go and get the Long Island players?
They don't. They're
Because
not.
I have, you know me. What are my players? Where are they based from?
They're all like Brentwood, you know, Syosset, you know, all
Yeah.
they're actually born and raised over there. So,
Yeah.
and if not raised, then they're you know they're there been for life. So I mean, like I said, we have this Brooklyn FC. We even had David Villa's team, which was I think it was Queensboro.
Queensboro.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't come out. And even if it does come out, where are the players coming from? They're just scouting them. They're not really scouting
Mhm.
from Queens. There's no opportunity, and that's why, like, I say, for it to be big in New York or in USA, it's really tough because all these teams, professional or these sponsor investors, they don't want to invest in someone that doesn't have any background.
Right.
They want someone just up and ready, and here you go. Here's the field, and here's the key to
But
the
that's where Renegades comes in because I'm upending the system,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if I win the national title, which was damn well going for,
You're on the road.
all right, and then they see that my team is, I didn't bring them from here or there, you know. It's like if they're ethnic, they're from Jamaica, you know. You know, you have the Waz, the Big 12, and Eric Edwards, our goalie, you know, and Brown, and these are the guys, but they're local.
The local, yep.
They're
The
local,
juniors, you know, the Toritos, the Tordos, the all.
local.
Do you think it could, for these teams that we say aren't getting a lot of their locals and giving their local?
Oh, they do. They do give the opportunity. The problem is that, and this is like I said before you continue. And this is the problem that I've been having for years. I've been in the system for years. The clinics that they open up, let's say Brooklyn FC opens up a clinic, not just a clinic, like an open trial, right?
Mm-hmm.
30 per player. You have over 100 players show up. None of them get selected. Why? So what is exactly you doing it for? For what reason exactly? For the money.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you think a big part of it, like how he was asking before, do you think it's a business thing? Oh, why would I not sign why would I not take a chance on a local player when I know I can get a professional player who's already produced in this league? Do you think
Right.
that's all? Because you got to look at it. These, at the end of the days, I know you know these clubs are businesses. Even at the major stage, where there's Premier League, La Liga, they have an infrastructure that they need to take care of. You know, there's so many employees and
They have to bring in something.
so many bills
But,
as well. Do you think
but
that's
look
also a
at
reason?
Europe and South America. Kids don't pay.
Kids don't pay.
You knew that, right?
Yeah.
Kids don't pay. You don't pay. You know what you do have? You have the right to that player, right? If you develop the player from, let's say, 5 years old, and you developed until 15 in your club, and he played in this and that, guess what?
You get
the
a
team that takes him has to give him
they
something.
get a percentage
Yeah.
of the contract.
And I don't understand why America doesn't go into that
a
system. The
different
same thing
system.
I always say about the relegation system. If we had a proper relegation system where USL can go up to MLS, then that changes the game, you know. And you know what? That change has to come, and we have to push. We have to be vocal about it. You
Yeah, but
know, it has to be. Our system is broken because of the way we're doing things. Because there's talent here, but where does the talent go get noticed? They have to leave to go overseas, which is what I'm doing with my team too. Like I'm signing these kids. And I'm gonna say, hey, I see you're talented. You know what? You don't have to pay me now. If you go out and make it, great. You know, from your contract, I make something, and now you go pro.
Yep.
You know, I'm really about the proper way to develop is like you don't have to reinvent the wheel. The wheel already exists. It
Yeah.
exists in Europe and it exists in South America. All right, so that is what I want to do. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna keep screaming, whether they like it or not. This renegade is always gonna tell you we're doing things the wrong way. We're
Yeah,
definitely doing things
For
the
sure,
wrong way.
100%. I think
You
a
know,
lot of
if
people
we
agree.
change our way of doing things, where, you know, I get it right now. The amateur rules won't allow you, like, which I think has been stupid. There should be some accountability. For example, you give a kid a pro contract, MLS Pro. Now, how many? And you know, I'd say it with a lot of. I hate that the parents spend all this money. Let's say $50,000, $60,000 to, you know, oh, they're in the best team in the Gachis or whatever, and they have good teams.
Oh, they do, yeah.
They have good teams, but how many of them making it pro? Or how many of them, or the disrespect that comes to those players too, when it comes to whether it be the MLS or other pro teams outside, be like, so, I'm not gonna take a chance on your player because look, the bias about American players, and it exists, and this is true. You can ask the pro players when they go play overseas, what do they think of them?
I think if they would go, if you're talking about like if you bring American players to the overseas, that they're
Yeah.
terrible.
You know what the bias is? They're not hardworking. Their mentality is not there.
Oh yeah, and that aspect.
They have been pampered all their lives, and they don't know what struggle is. You see, A real pro player comes from struggle, you know? Struggle. And you want to ask why the Renegades are what they are? Our base is a base of struggle.
Hmm.
Our team is the players that didn't come up the way you wanted them to come up. They are a point of struggle. The immigrant story, the even the locals born here, these kids are just borderline poverty, and what we're doing is opening the doors to them. And we got two of our teams in the finals of the UPSL, the youth for the Northeast as well.
Hmm.
You know, shout out to them. I know you're coming. I know have been busy and I haven't gone
No,
to
100%. Yeah.
too many of them, but believe me, I'm watching. I'm looking. I'm seeing the next generation. I know Axel, a kid who, trust me, this kid can make it. 15 years old. I'm telling you, when I see talent, I can tell you that kid can make it. And I'm going to try to do my best to give him the opportunity to make it. You know, when you have players like that I see coming up, and unfortunately, like you said, it's a business.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take my chance on that player. I'm gonna go for a commodity because he's coming from Europe. Look at what colleges have been doing.
Yeah, I mean now colleges probably bring like over like their whole entire team is
85%
international.
is
Yeah, it's all international
foreign
foreign players.
international players.
And since there was no rules anymore, how much you could bring, they bring as much as they want.
Exactly. And why do they do it?
They have better players.
No, the players are not better. I'm telling you right now, their players are not better. Now, here they're better, okay? But what else can you expect out of the US player if they're not giving the chance to have the mentality that they grew up with? For example, like I know that players that come from struggle do better. If I'm not, prove me wrong. You want to know where I get that from? Look at the NBA. These kids are the kids that the ones who make it are the ones who come from affluent backgrounds? No,
Mhm.
come from the inner cities. Okay, let's be honest about the facts. Struggle builds a player. Okay,
Yeah.
when you know what struggle is, and all you really know is that this is a lifeline for you and your family,
Yeah.
then you're gonna be a different player. The mentality of the system that we have now doesn't produce that. How is it? These kids like, I have I have my education, I have my parents, and I have people who can pay for me. I don't have to.
Yeah, that's true.
So mentally, they're not prepared to compete against that mentality which they're hitting South America and in Europe, because that's a different mentality. That's a mentality
That's
of
that mentality. All I got.
struggle.
That's all I got. Yeah,
Struggle. The French national team, basically immigrant,
migrating to France.
struggle. They're not affluent, come from struggle. Brazilian players, struggle. Argentine players, struggle. Uruguayan, the recipe is right there.
Yeah, that's
Are
true.
we getting the best talent? No. Why?
And we could. The problem
We
is that
could.
just the opportunity's not there.
This country can easily produce the next Messi. Maybe never be another Messi ever in our lifetime or ever. I don't know, because he seems to be touched by God.
Yeah,
That's a different
That's the
story
best
right
part.
there. But you can have high level and Mbappe. Uh,
Rodrigo.
you name the player, we can. But we have to be open to change our system. And a lot of people are going to be like, hell no, tell that boy to shut up.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't rock the boat. Don't rock the boat of the pay to play system here. Don't rock the boat of the relegation system, because let's just be honest, teams who have bought in, they have guaranteed money.
Yeah,
They have guaranteed money. I can be in last place and I still get money.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know where I read this, but the teams that they did it for that reason. So there's no relegation. No,
It was easy to get the investors for it. you know.
Yeah.
Whereas when you go, like, look, you see all those Americans who own teams, where do they own them, including myself? Where did
Outside.
I go first?
Outside.
Yeah.
Because it's easy, like, for example, Ryan Reynolds, he goes outside and buys a team, and he buys a team that's in the C or D, and slowly bringing them up, you know, you just hit the jackpot,
Yeah.
right? Same thing I'm doing and hoping to do over there is jump to the B, and now I'm, I hit the jackpot,
Yeah.
you know, and it's the same thing. It's the same concept. It's like here, like you said, it's like they do it because they guaranteed the money.
Yeah.
And take the island, and I don't know that investment group, but to me, it's just an investment group who doesn't know crap about Long Island.
They
Let's just
don't.
be honest.
They
And
don't.
I
you
haven't
saying
read
that they're
into it.
hiring somebody that's Long Island, I guarantee you that they're not going to be going for Long Island born players and this and that, because they're not going to. They're just not. Let's just be honest. Don't. But when you talk about Renegades, and what I'm trying to do is
Based Long
say
Island players.
believe in the brand, because the brand already exists. Okay. And yeah, I'll get some player here. If I'm not stupid, I'm not gonna let go of a player who wants to come. But you know what now, Santa? They come to me now anyway.
Yeah.
They write to me. People in the struggle around the world are now sending me messages. How do I join your team?
I mean, you could tell, like, when we have open trials, it was like freaking a lot of kids. I think we had to do 2-3 days just because there were so many kids that we
Yeah,
couldn't
so
even,
many kids,
yeah,
and I want to give the opportunity. And it's only right to let them
show what they
themselves.
got. Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Another thing I hate about the tryout system here. A lot of these tryouts, you can have a bad day, or
Yeah.
nervous.
You
Yeah.
You had
can't.
a stomach ache. You
Could
had
be
a
with the
flu.
wrong teammates on the team.
Yeah, it's like
Not enough
that's not
time.
Yeah.
that's not fair. A true tryout like they do in Europe and Latin America is over a week.
Yeah, they give you like a whole week and a half. Well, when I was in China, Mexico, the same thing. They gave me over a month.
When I tell them in Uruguay that most tryouts here are just
One
a
day.
one and done, they start to laugh. No,
How,
no,
yeah,
no.
how can you really tell a player he
Yeah.
played just in one game?
They
What if you
started,
never get the ball?
They started
Yeah.
to laugh. They said, no, you're joking, right? I said, no, it's usually one day.
One day, and then if you're lucky, they'll see you, and then. But most of the time, when people host trials, basically they just do it just to
They're
do
not
it
even paying attention.
because they already have their team set. So it's like, why are we even doing this, right? But again, they're just on business. I feel like it's just business, at the end of the day. Which I like I said, I would never, till now, I would never say that USA step in, one step at a time. I can't say it. I just don't have that in me to say that we're in the right path. We're not. We could easily have the
The
best.
system has to be changed.
It has to, but how
Right.
long would it take?
Like I said, there's got to be more people in
There
positions
to be open up and
to be open to it, and so does the MLS. I think at a certain point where I think all these teams have already pretty much gotten their investment back, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think the MLS is already every team, because this is a franchise, right? So
Yeah.
every team has gotten, all those investors have gotten their money back plus. Especially when Messi came,
Huh.
and the
Doubled
profit
everything.
sharing. Yeah,
Doubled everything.
I mean, I think the problem is like power, right? When you have it, you don't want to let go of power.
Yeah.
So it makes things difficult,
difficult,
right?
They're
yeah.
secure too. They're
you see money coming in and like, do I really want this to stop? It's just like,
And then unfortunately, like, is the USL the answer? Because USL is going into a system where they're going to have a relegation
yeah.
within themselves.
but now how do you? But in that case, if USL happens right with relegation, how do you know the team will stick? It because a lot of people invest on the USL championship team, and if they know that they're going down, why am I gonna play USL 1 when I have a big ass stadium to pay? I got fill up all these fans. These fans might not even come back anymore. Like,
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, do you believe in the American fan? Is the question.
but it's I don't know.
I mean,
It's tough. I usually go to the
there's where
games
the
and just grab a
question
beer
is.
and then I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't even pay attention. I don't even know half the players or like 3/4 of MLS players. Why? Because it's I don't know.
I mean, it's just, again, it's like, where do you see the fandom, right? So, you have like the Whitecaps, they went, the ones the Messi just
Yeah, the White
the
Guys,
man-
Vancouver.
yeah, Vancouver, and you can tell that community is like totally behind it
Yeah.
that team, and in Miami, obviously
Oh,
that thing
Miami
is
brings
so
in that fire, especially like I feel like that they have the Hispanic thing where like
yeah.
they're building up that
Well,
fan
they're
base.
building the Latino
Yeah,
culture of following
football.
Yeah.
football, right?
And I hope they
So
see it now that the World Cup is coming. Hopefully they see it.
hopefully, it changes to that effect where people say, yeah, it's gonna happen, it's gonna come up, and I don't know. It's like the question is whether you believe in the American fandom, whether they're gonna support a league,
Regardless if you drop
regardless,
or not.
because look, I see it. I see it like, oh, if what do you mean my team went down? Then why am I supporting them anymore? Whereas in England it's
Now
different,
you go
right?
to championship, that's
Yeah.
crazy. Yo.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? In England, you go to a game because I go to England and stuff, and you go watch even the local team, and their team probably got relegated. Or the people are rapidly behind it,
Yeah.
just like in Uruguay, Rivera.
Yeah,
people
I
look-
see. I seen that. Yeah, like the fans, the
the
smoke,
fandoms,
everything
the
is
smoke,
crazy.
and everything coming up, and
Yeah.
it's a different atmosphere because they're just happy
It's
that there's a
different.
team in the community, and they wanna, I don't know, like New York is tough because in New York you have so many different kingdoms here,
Yeah.
and this one, and there's no combined league or whatever, and like my decision to go to UPSL was because they have a true national championship.
It's a nice way. Like that's what I always say. Like compared to APSL, yeah, you go over there compete. I don't know how far it is, but I feel like the UPSL has a nice way of like round 16, Sweet Eight. Then you got the top four and the nationals that you play in a stadium. I like the format. The format is really
The
nice.
the format, and it's a true national league, right?
Yeah.
So they really done it, and that's the reason I did the platform. And then to be honest with you, I have to say that for the most part, and I know I drive Paul, the man,
Yeah.
the manager of the UPSL Northeast, because I'm a loudmouth. I know, and I complain a lot to him, but he puts up with me. He's like,
Yeah.
and he but he sees the league growing. Like he believed in the team. Like what's your history? Like what do you do? I'm like I play talacha. So he's like, he didn't know what the fuck that was. I was like, what is that? Like the underground tournaments. And I was talking to Game and Frame also, and they're like, what is that? Like, this
Yeah,
this
they don't experience that. They
the
don't know about that.
underground games, and like, oh, that's interesting. Like, you play for big money. I'm like, yeah, big money.
Really big one.
Yeah, and then
It's only like 2 days.
yeah, and Paul was like, all right, yeah, why not? And first he put me into the American Cup, which you were there.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
won.
They won the whole thing.
And he was supposed to put me, but I think the higher ups told
Then,
him,
like,
nah,
it's
we
like
had to
it's-
go
you
to
have
Division
choose
1.
two and then Division
And then we
One.
blew through
Blew
Division
everything.
1.
They had like 60 goals in like one season.
Yeah, and
It was crazy.
And then and the funny one was when you did Teddy with with that video which got taken down. That was one
Yeah.
of the funniest videos I had seen. By the vial when
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my god, when Santa's just lighting them up. How
Yeah,
many did
that's
you
just
score
funny.
that
I had
day?
this 4 goals. 4
Four
goals. I
goals.
did 4 goals that day.
So, ding,
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 yeah, it was-
ding.
it was
the
just funny.
pinging was hilarious. You gotta see. I don't know who has that video.
I don't know.
but-
I never seen it again.
yeah, I'm like, that was one of those. It was just hilarious because that went viral and stuff. He said, "Damn, his team is good, and all these guys are local." Like, yeah, but there's a lot of UPSL teams that have a local. Like, I met another Boris in Florida. City
Another
soccer.
Boris.
Yeah, no. I met him on the plane to Uruguay. He also went to Uruguay. Nice guy, man. He's got local players too. The same thing, man.
Mhm.
They just like building up their local foundation, and they're making noise. And I'm like, it's happening in little part. That's the thing about the UPSL. That again, I joke around with the. I think they call now the APSL. I joke around because they promote that, oh, it's more affordable, It's more, but it's not. It's not a real national.
Yeah, it's not.
Like it's not like
I don't think even they come up on the pyramid, do they?
Yeah, they do. I
They
think.
do.
No, I
I
think
I
they
don't
mean,
see
are.
that.
they do.
Yeah.
They do. But you know what it is? It's like you know who the champs are gonna be. It's
Yeah.
either gonna be all New York-based teams, Greek Americans. If it's not that, it's Principian. I think won it last year too.
Yeah.
And then you have
It's like the same one.
Lansdowne. It's the same three basically
Yeah, it's the same
who
thing,
win.
yeah.
And you know the winner here is always gonna win because this is the tougher conference.
The tougher conference.
It's a
And I don't
more
know how many.
powerful
I don't know
one.
how many more conferences do they have,
They do. They have some, but I don't know if they go all the way to Cali.
but they don't promote it as much though, like they do here in New
I
York.
mean, you know, that's maybe someone you may want to reach out to and talk to. I mean, you know, I think David Harris is the person to talk to.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
But again, like in New York, like for example, UPSL you see everywhere. UPSL this, UPSL that,
Yeah.
southeast or whatever it
Yeah.
is on the Cali side, on here side. It's just you hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's just. I think it's social media too.
Yeah.
I've realized they're more social media heavy. So maybe it
Maybe
could
it could be maybe just the social
why
media
it's
is
gotten
more.
around.
Well, I
more.
mean, it's been a.
But they don't play in a stadium like this though.
Yeah.
Or do they?
Who?
Like APSL compared to like the national finals like
I
this.
don't know.
I know you guys gonna play probably in a nice, good
Yeah,
stadium
in Irving, California.
yes, those
Yeah.
stadiums are always amazing. So.
I mean, the thing is like, you know, and I get it because I think they're about trying to maintain that the ethnic teams
Mhm.
and the teams like not pricing them out or something. So I think they're slightly more affordable than the UPSL, but the UPSL offers, I think, in my view, more exposure.
Yeah, I think
and
it's
and
just,
of course, they used to try to say that we suck, but I'm gonna be honest with you, the Northeast of the UPSL, I think
it's gotten a lot.
I'd like to see them compete in this one and
Yeah,
see
no, I
how
mean,
good they would do. I don't know. I don't like. I think AFC would have something to say to them.
mhm.
Empire would have something to say to them, and certainly Braveheart.
No, Braveheart's for sure, 100%.
You know, you can't tell me that they can't compete against those guys and actually beat them. I just cannot see them. I cannot see that being the case. You know, but at the end of the day, everybody has a thing. But I think that's the thing. We have to unite and talk about how to better, because no one person will have the solution to the problems that ail American soccer. It's unfortunate that more than half of the team really made it overseas.
Yeah,
It's not really here. That's got to change.
Yeah, 100%. I hope it changes. At least it's not for us. Maybe for the future of the players that want to come out and then be a professional soccer player. And hopefully it works out for them. Yeah, I see slowly, very very slowly. But let's just mention like now you're in Open Cup, and now you're going to the national finals. How is that? How is your feeling after those two successful long run season right now so far? What is it your mindset right now?
Well, I gave the team now the week off. We just beat Chicago, right? But we got to come right back.
Yeah.
And it's harder for us in the Northeast
Yeah.
because all the others, they're still playing and they haven't their champions haven't been
Crowned,
determined. There haven't been a final. They're not even in the final 32. I think they're just getting there now. Next week.
And the best thing about them is that they're in the heat. They could play and they're just relaxing. Compared
Which
to here, it's hard.
makes it harder for us, right? So we have to not only wait.
What
We
do you
have
do?
to practice.
Do you give the time like a couple of weeks off before a month, or you guys just continuing to practice?
No, I gave them this week off.
Just this week off, but next week that's it. No
I mean,
weekends
some
off.
of them are not happy about it. They wanted to be off the whole and really start up in January. But you know what it is? It's like you start to lose some of it, and
Some of the momentum.
we have to stay focused on what we have to do. We are thinking of a tournament. We are doing the tags tournament.
Yeah,
for
in the Christmas, after Christmas, yeah.
Christmas, and then you know, um, we have to. I think we're gonna just compete against ourselves. Our Division 1 team is quality. I think is quality team. They also won again. You know,
Yeah,
like that's the fourth time,
yeah,
4 times in a row that they win. You know, and they don't have a national championship, but they have a Northeast regional. And
yeah, 100%.
you know, to win it. I mean, last year that's another team you got to look out for. Capital City's coming up.
Capital City, yeah, I saw that they also won every game and they beat, I think, Renegades in the finals last year to qualify.
The Division 1, yeah. You know, I mean, no, they had already qualified because this was now the East
Yeah,
Regional.
it was just the final. It was
Yeah,
just like
it was just
the
the final. You
Like
know,
a counseling game.
and they took it to us. You know, and this year it wasn't a cakewalk either. They just beat them because they had quality players. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's another team that they're really doing things the right way, and you know, I felt their presence was felt. Like you can feel
They have they have ballers in there probably as well. Yeah,
and the desire to win.
yeah.
You know, so shout out to them. But you know, the format, uh, going how we have to prepare ourselves
It's gonna be tough.
is going to be tough. But you know, that's what experience teaches you, right? I don't want to be a part of that person that says, yeah, we were this close and we just didn't take the extra step. We had to try to take the extra step. You know, I'm proud of them already. They're already winners, you know. Now I say it's anybody. Whoever makes it, you already know it's quality.
Yeah,
You
of
already
course.
know they got ballers and they're about it and they want to bring it and they want to
Yeah.
win it. And we have to have that same mentality. The thing is that I do know that our team, one, you're just not beating us by scoring 1 goal. It ain't happening.
You got it. You got to
Yeah.
outscore you.
So we're gonna come, and we're gonna make you earn that victory
Yeah.
against us, and that's it. You know, but the preparation is gonna be the toughest thing. I think that's gonna be the
I
hardest.
think yeah, that's the biggest, especially work. Do you even scrimmage at this freezing weather? What did you do?
It's
And it's a different ball game because
Yes.
you're gonna go indoors now,
Mhm.
and is that the same as playing outdoors?
It's not. It's not. You know, thankfully, you know, I'm starting to, you know, get support, you know, whether it be the Sousa, where we call ourselves home, you know, shout out to them. You know, they have been welcoming surprisingly to me and the Renegades. You know, it was hard getting fields.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
that feels really nice.
Yeah.
that feel
Really
is nice, and you know, we've really turned that into a home field advantage for us playing there. I think the only team we lost to this
Was
year
us.
was you guys. Beyond that, it was like, you know, we felt so good at home. Um, I'm talking to them to see if, you know, we can get the bubble, the entire bubble,
Oh, the entire bubble.
because
Yeah.
they did the whole field. You
Oh
see?
wow.
Yeah, they put a bubble on the whole field. So, um, we talking. And I know if it's humanly possible for them, they're gonna come through for us. You know.
That's great. I'm sure that
Hopefully.
they will do that for you guys, especially you guys going in a big stage.
You know, not listen. Over the years now, I got people who are willing to help. You know, KK, shout out to them. You know, there's like, we'll make it happen.
They
We'll
see
give
potential. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's coming together. Like, you know, people who run the Hofstra bubble. You know, were, you know, right now they were in season, so I couldn't even touch it because they were coming inside too. You know, they were in the playoffs.
They were in the
college team.
playoffs. Yep.
Very good team. You know, shout out to them. They were like, yeah, now, you know, the season's done. You know, they're
Because
like,
we used
yeah,
to play there. Yeah, I remember.
yeah. So it's good to have
The support.
now I'm feeling more local support. I'm even feeling it from fans, you know, like shout out to them because, you know, the little things they want to do, like La Union,
Yeah.
the restaurant, shout out to them, you know, and they support, you know, they're really like now more grassroots support for the team, you know. Uh, and then the locals, like right now, they're doing that. You know, they're trying to accommodate us and saying, hey, you know, come to the facility. Of course, now they want also to be, you know, want us to shout them out and also promote them and stuff like that, which I
Yeah.
have, which is part of the business of doing this. It's like it's fine, you know.
Yeah.
And I wanna give back as much as I can to the community because you know I've had a successful law practice, right? And that's my this is where I make my money, right? But if I can help any of these kids, you know, say I came through the renegade system, that's good enough for
That's
me.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
I think for you that would be a good feeling, like to be like, all right. Obviously, you know, you're gonna do your part, but the feeling that you'll get be like, oh, this is where I came from. I think
Mhm.
that's a bit be a very good
You know, I
feeling for
already
yourself.
see it in the guys with their badge. You know, when they wear it, you know, they wear it with pride. You know, they you know they wear the you know I'm talking about the little ones. You know, when they
Yeah.
wear it
Yeah,
now.
I mean,
You know,
they see the older team competing and being crowned as the best. They feel it too.
yeah. Oh, and they feel it the other way around too because teams are coming at them. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
like
I'd be like, damn,
every
okay,
division
Renegades.
is like, why is there such a war? Why do they hate us? I'm like, they're gonna hate you, man. It's just
It's
logical
just part
because
of it.
you're part of it. You know, like you have a team celebrating like they won a World Cup on the other thing, including your team when they went trash my locker room.
Oh yeah, yeah. But that like it comes from achievement. Like I said, you
Yeah,
beating one of the best teams, if not the best team in New York.
Team with a good reputation. Yeah.
Reputation, because every team that versus Renegades is like, okay, like this is the team to beat or try to beat. And
hmm,
if you achieve it, how many teams do they achieve it?
yeah,
It's really
no,
minimum. Like who beats Renegades just off the start of the season? Because like I said, Renegades always
absolutely,
starts off strong, and they always
yeah,
finish strong as well. And for us to beat you guys, I mean, it's for them. It's something that they alone they achieved, and it's something that they are really, like I said, it's just part of the game.
yeah.
But it's also like for them, like I said, it's something that they worked hard for as well.
Oh no, and you know what? I love the fact that the challenges have been coming from, you know, whether it be I think East Coast is still something that I don't know where the mentality is as of yet. You know, I thought there would be more of it, but I think like Empire has brought in that mentality. They're doing things a little different than how I would do things, you
Hmm.
know. But you know, each team gets its own identity, and you know, our identity now is associated with winning,
Hmm.
and you know, laying a standard. And I do take pride in that. Like you know, like when they say, "Yeah, let's beat them," and then when they celebrate, I'm like, the only thing I was mad about AFC is like they left it a mess, and then I got a call the next day
Oh.
from
Yeah.
No, but that's not unlike us. That's unlike they're really
yeah.
respectful people, and I know if not, we
Yeah, I
apologize
know
on
people.
behalf of that.
They just went off on it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
was
But
like, and I get it. It was spontaneous, and they, you know, it was something to be taken pride about. So I didn't. I was just like, listen, just be mindful because at the end of the
of
day,
course,
you know,
yeah,
we have to answer to, you know, the people, the hosts who give it to us,
yeah.
right?
Because then after that, it's like, do we want to give it to you again, the following season?
Absolutely.
So
You know, thankfully, it was just a one time thing, and then you know. I explained it to them, and you know, the people at Susa were like, "Yeah, yeah, cool."
yeah,
You
I
know, just
understand. Yeah,
like
so
you
don't
know,
want to happen again.
let's try not to let that happen
Yeah.
again. But yeah, it's pride where you see if another team beats you, and they come and you know they really happy about it.
Yeah.
It means we're doing something right. So it's always been that way. For now, I mean, ever since we came in and came in hot, because we did come in hot, and then you know what we've done in the time frame that we've done it. So, but you know, there's all comers are coming up. There's people coming up. You know, even in Talacha, you know, um, this guy from Latin Power. I don't know if he's actually gonna go into the UPSL or some league like that. And
You know what it
you
is
don't
that
know.
also yeah, I mean, not a lot of people have that commitment to do all of this. This takes a lot.
It does.
Practicing games. getting a field.
Well, I
It's
mean,
not easy.
again, you know,
Not
problem
easy.
with a lot of owners is they think I'm just gonna get this player here, this player there, this player there, put them together, boom. It's as if they don't watch the pro game, man.
Yeah.
What pro team do you not see practice?
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
that's
actually
true.
go over formations or go over, you know, like I
Tactical
think
plays and stuff like
that's
that.
being naive.
Yeah.
That's just being naive.
Do you have any? We can finish off with this. Do you have any advice or words for people that want to be a UPSL owner of a team or eventually professional? Hopefully.
You have to be. You have, for example, getting into the UPSL. Their standards and they're very strict about it. Like for example, you better have because or else you'll get fined, right? You better have a facility where you have a trainer.
Mhm.
You know, if you don't have a trainer, you get fined really hard. If you have a facility where you don't have a changing room for them, I think they're gonna really crack down. I know AFC had that
We
issue
had
with
that
that
10,
tent that
yeah.
they had, and you know, they about you better be prepared to meet the standards because if you don't, um, you're gonna find it a very very long and tough year. Secondly, I think the best advice I can give a person considering it is not only how much money you're gonna throw into it, how much time are you going to invest?
I think that's the biggest one time.
You know, the time is the biggest thing you need to be prepared to invest because it takes up a lot of your time.
No, of
It
course.
really does because organizing, you know, your practice if you're gonna have practice. I think now everybody in the Northeast practices. I think including
yeah,
AFC.
yeah. We practice 2 times a week.
Yeah, I think everybody. When we first got into it, I know a lot of teams didn't practice. You could tell.
Yeah, you could
know,
tell.
we smashed a lot of teams who just didn't practice. Like they would just show up. And honestly, if you're not prepared to put that commitment to practice and be somewhat structured like a pro team, then this is not for you.
Yeah.
It's not for you, because a lot of people are like, hey, I'm gonna throw money. I got money. I'm just gonna throw money. You can throw all the money that you want at it, and you're not gonna make it if you don't have a structure where you're gonna have, players. You have to tell the players how it's gonna be, because one of the worst things you can do to a player is tell them, I'm gonna sell you this, but then
Yeah.
where was the infrastructure behind to help me? Where was like we have, Movement Underground, one of our sponsors. I have a facility where people go get recovery.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
They go get, training. And believe it or not, that's big.
No, of course.
That's
Helps out a
big.
lot.
Where you have you got hurt. I'm sorry, man. Well, to let me know when you're better.
That's messed up.
I mean,
Yeah, it is true.
it's like, should I be giving away these secrets? I mean, I honestly, you have to have the right people around you to be able to tell you, hey, man, we can't just let the player be like that. You have
Yeah.
to have a plan for his recovery
Yeah.
to come
100%.
back, especially if he got hurt under you. Are you prepared to pay the player while they're out? Because, what's fair,
Yeah.
The UPSL insurance has to get better. I think that's one of my criticisms. I think we should pay into a pot that helps pay more of medical. And this is one of the things that, I think big tournaments like Delaware, which we go to, if you're paying into that, I think they should have a system where they have an insurance.
Yeah.
Policy.
Because those kind of games, that's where I lost Dorito, and I come to find out there's no fucking insurance for him. And I couldn't use the UPSL one because,
He didn't get hurt there.
yeah, ruptured his tendon.
Yeah, that's a big one right there.
And then, and that's where he got hurt. So I couldn't use UPSL insurance because UPSL is only for UPSL sanctioned games.
You should have threw him in the game and just have him fall down.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. No, that's insurance fraud.
No, no. You're good though. You're a lawyer.
Yeah, I know.
Nah,
But
nah.
no, I'm
You're
not
good.
gonna do that. But no, but the whole thing is like, you have a system where you know, if you're coming into the UPSL, injuries are part of the game, and recovery is part of the game, and you know we have it available for our players because we need them back. You know, our players are is your commodity, is your players. You know,
Yeah.
and if you don't have them and protect them and give them an infrastructure where they can actually feel like, okay, if I get hurt, like playing with the mentality like I'm gonna play and I know that the team's got my back.
Yeah.
You know, what better than have a player that, you know, do I pay my players? Yes, but there's performance based. Like, you know, if you meet the premier, you're really about it already now.
Yeah.
You know, and you get paid is because I appreciate not only what I expect from you, but I want my players to be happy at
Yeah,
the
of
end of the
course.
day.
Yeah.
You know, and people may criticize, oh, it should be amateur this and this. I'm like, dude. So you want to have a team where you expect them to die for that shield, for your logo, for your brand, and you're not willing to do something for them?
Yeah.
At that point, there's no
Stop
loyalty.
it.
You
Stop it. Now, you tell me, Santa, because you were a paid player for me. Did you not go out there and give me 100%?
Always.
No
Always.
player on the Renegades, I tell you this.
No one can say anything bad.
No one can ever tell me that Renegade player didn't give me 100%.
Yeah, everybody did, especially like you were that type of not just per coach but person where this is what happened here like here's you need something here you go and there was always a one phone call away to make sure that and even if
Always.
it's even if it was outside of soccer
Yeah.
as a personal level like even I reached out um that was that it's something that you offered to the players and which is the players why they're here today and they're still
Yeah.
there and I think at any type of moment you call any player you had before they'll still come and play for you
Yeah.
and that's the beauty of it.
I love that part because, I feel like I have to be loyal to them because they're loyal to me. That's why I hate when they say, oh, pagados,
Yeah,
people
no.
pagados. I'm like, how dare you tell them if you know what? I bet you if you were good enough to play and play on my team, you would want to get paid.
Yeah, 100%.
So for you to turn around and criticize what the other man is doing, and then for me to know because I know my players
Mm-hmm.
that when they play, they leave it all out for me.
Yeah.
For the team, for the club. They're not bullshitting. They know they're earning money, and they do it not only for the love of the team, but they do it because it's something that helps them and their family.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's
know?
a good way to put it there.
You know, but thankfully, I got now sponsors that help with that. And that's what I hope to build. Like having my academies where I hardly charge them, and they can tell you. They can tell you.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of players that really like they're so good, but I know that they've from means that can't.
Yeah.
And you know
Yeah,
what?
that's true.
You can still play for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to be about.
Yeah, and I hope that you could be that, and I feel like you are the right person, not just to change the system, but change the lives of a lot of people coming from Long Island, Queens, because like you said, you have a lot of people from different places. Walt comes from the Bronx. You have even Yo-Yo, I think, lived in Jamaica or whatnot. So you have a lot of players that come in and they see you doing this, and which is why everybody wants to be a Renegade player. And when they put that badge on, when they put that jersey on, it's just a different feeling because you're part of one of the best teams, if not the best team. Like I keep saying, the best team in New York, where you're out there representing just not yourself, but the whole club in general and yourself as well. So I think in that, I hope that this continues with your project, and I we'll be watching you guys go into nationals and making sure that We hope that you guys could take it, represent us, because you don't just win, you make the whole entire New York City win, New York
Yeah.
win. You basically we're all
Absolutely.
watching, we're all hoping, the same way we follow Contour before when they won it. We want to see again that happen, because everybody sleeps in New Yorkers, and I feel like that's
Oh,
something.
yeah. I mean, I have, and you bring up a good point. Like when we're in New York, I notice that I get I support this team and I don't, F the Renegades and this and
Yeah.
that. But, it's in jest. But, those same guys who say that, when we go out,
They support.
they're
support you.
supporting.
Support, because at the end of the day,
That's what I
we're
like about New York, man. You gotta
It's
be a
tough
that's
New
true.
love.
Yorker
That's a
to-
tough
Yeah,
love.
to
It's a
understand
tough
it.
love,
Tough
but
love,
New
Yeah.
York, New York is all about that, and I like it because they know that deep down they know we're a real New York team.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Exactly. And even like when you go to to tournaments like Talacha and stuff like that, you bring your players from Long Island, you bring your
Yeah.
players from New York City. You have teams that are from New York, but they bring players from other cities, different states, different countries. At that point, I don't even think you don't even put New York on that thing, because it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense to me. I feel like, and that's the thing I
Absolutely.
give you with so much respect, that you bringing and you giving the opportunity to the people that come from New York City, and I hope and you continue to do that project with them, and let's hopefully you set that tone for us, and not just for me, but like for everybody that's following you and the Renegades, to be at a professional level that we want to see it happen. We want to see
Yeah, it's
that
exciting.
it's exciting to watch, exciting to
Yes.
hear, exciting to see that you want to break the cycle. You want that to be like relegations. You want it to be enough pay to play, because we're tired of it. I think even Julian, myself, other colleagues as well, we experienced that through our whole lives. We never give the opportunity here in the United States, and it's something, if you're going with it, we always will be following you in that aspect.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you guys having me on, because these are the kind of platforms that you get to talk, speak about
Freely.
it, and have a conversation, not just a soundbite.
Yeah.
Because everything can be taken out of context.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, you say one thing and like they only hear what they want to hear and make it
That
a
sticks.
It makes
soundbite,
sense, yeah.
and not let you have a free flowing conversation as to why.
Yeah.
The reason I'm against the pay to play, and there's no disrespect to the Merovos, the Gachis, and this and that, because I think they're just working within what the system is.
It's
right?
something they brought themselves
It's
into
not.
and
It's not.
already
Yeah. It's not like they invented the system. It's the system that they had to work in.
cope with.
Yeah. So it's no disrespect to them, but I know there's good quality players that are being left out.
A lot.
And
100%.
it's happened to you guys here.
Yeah.
It's happened to a lot more, and this is what my challenge is, to say there is a different way, and it's not a reinvented wheel. It already exists in Europe, it exists in Latin America, and it's just about making it happen. And you know what? Those games, I beat Aguila.
Yeah, I remember. I was there 2-0.
Central
I think so.
American team, champion at the time, and we beat them with just local players from here.
Yep.
Okay, we scorched them, and it don't tell me that the players here cannot compete at that level.
Professional level. Yep.
It's BS. All right, and that goes out to every player out there who feels that they're being overlooked. I want them, and I'm speaking to you guys right now, whoever's looking at this. If you work hard, the opportunity will come, and hopefully you get to see it through Renegades if you want to. I'm very serious about it. Where you can come here, show me you have talent. I don't only try to do those one day, although it gets harder because which facility wants to give you 4 or 5 days? It becomes expensive, right? It becomes a numbers
very
game.
expensive, yeah.
But I am about the promotion of a player, the development of a player, and tell me that my team was able to beat Aguila.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pro team. Care what you say. And I'm willing to face and play, and I get the opportunity right now, right, in the U.S. Open,
Mm-hmm.
where I felt we lost that game, but I learned from that game.
The
I'm always
Columbus,
learning from every game.
the Columbus one.
Columbus.
That was a big stage. Yeah.
This time around, I know that I probably can make noise, and I know our players now feel we can beat a pro team. So, I intend to make noise. I don't just intend to just qualify. I intend to have our team compete and not be like, oh, we're gonna roll over. Not happening.
No, yeah, of course.
Because we're here to show that yes, the New York player can, the Long Island, New York City, Westchester, all the tri-state area here can do it. So and can compete and are capable.
To compete at a higher level. Or
I'm
at
just
that stage.
hoping that enough of that is shown that scouts come and be a part of it. But what I'm building, since I'm building it locally, is going, there'll be other ways because I got to play the system too then. Now, what
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
gotta
do-
just, I guess,
Yeah, I'm going to now be sending my better players to Frontera,
Yeah.
where totally different. You got scouts looking everywhere from every country coming out
That's
there.
a different ball game, though. That's totally
That
different.
is,
That's just another level.
but that's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna do, and I'm capable of doing that now.
And that's the best thing that you're giving the opportunity to those players. Like I know Dylan was one of them that you sent over
Yes.
there.
And
I'm su-
Dylan's going back.
Yeah, and I'm sure that he had that experience to feel how does it feel to be in a stadium with fans, crazy fans, not just
Yeah.
fans, crazy fans.
Mm-hmm.
The smoke all over, the trumpets, the drums, everything. It was just an amazing feeling. Especially.
It's an amazing feeling.
and
and-
yeah, and people and people from your lower division, for example, like the U17, they want to be there, and
Absolutely.
that road and those steps that you're putting out for them is just an exciting move that you're doing with
Well,
them.
that's the plan, is to have them go out there and actually compete,
Yeah,
and get the opportunity. It's not just a money grab. It's
of
just
course.
it's just about, hey, can I pay the whole thing? I don't know. I'm gonna try to find a way of being able to do it, but I say where there's a will, there's a way. That new team that's gonna be formed, it hasn't even been formed. I don't know, but to me, I feel like if you're not coming local, then
I don't think so. Unfortunately, that's how I look at it. It's not happening.
that's why me, and my project is to attract investors to say, believe in what I'm already built, the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me grow, because I'll be the only grassroots, real team from New York, that has done something in that sense, and now feels that, with the proper investor, with the vision, that we can make real noise and have an impact here.
Yeah.
And that's the hope. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm not, but I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
So,
No, of course. Well, hopefully,
as my
you know,
wife would say.
Mama Renegade. No, but of course, we're happy and we'll continue to be following Renegades, especially now that you guys are going to nationals.
Yes.
We're gonna wish the group of 100%. Hopefully, I'm there. but we're hoping that you guys. It's about time. 5 years, and I think that this could be the year that you guys implement it. You have a great group. You guys have all the players that you need to win this. Hopefully, the players that need to be there, like Torito. Hopefully, he's back by that time. Yo-Yo. We're hoping that you bring it home for us. You bring it so we could represent, not just like I said, not the club, not just the players, but for us that we want to be part of it as well.
Yeah, I feel like todos somos parte de eso.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I say it in Spanish because
Because we
Mucho de
always
la-
brag, yeah.
mucho del apoyo de nosotros son hispanos y que tienen ese orgullo
Claro,
de
eso sí.
ver a nosotros competir con sus hijos que están aquí en Nueva York.
Exactamente. Yo creo que esa es la alegría más que da a todos los fanáticos de tener los hijos, de tener los fanáticos, llevar Nueva York a un campeonato y traerlo. sería lo mejor para Nueva York y lo más para ustedes también, por lo que tú sacrificas mucho para estos torneos.
Absolutely. I mean, winning it by itself, and I know we're all short on time,
Yeah.
so I
I want to know
wanna.
what's in the bag.
The
That bag's
secret
been there
bag.
next to you for too long.
Julian's been seeing that for a
So-
while.
Santa remembers this.
Oh, those are the. Oh, that's the. I have to open it. I have
Yeah.
to. Me and Matthew were fighting over this number.
Yes. And Matthew.
Though. Oof, look at this. So
Yeah.
this was
Matthew took your tenant, and he's jokingly he's probably gonna say, "I'll never give it back to you." So here is the 11.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That was the old
Yeah,
one
the
as well.
old school.
The old school one.
You
yeah.
know,
I think
you've
that was
had
like one of the
many
first ones.
memorable. One of the
Yeah,
first
one
Oh,
of
it's the
ones.
older uniform?
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I think that's when we first started with Diaza.
Yep. With the also shout out to them.
Shout out to Diaza as well.
And I'm gonna also give you guys an energy drink.
Oh, energy drink.
Is Dino.
Let's see. Thank you.
One of our sponsors. Shout out to them.
That's a good drink.
Yeah.
I'm going to save this for the gym. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah. We're actually
And
gonna
then-
go to the gym after, so we're gonna
No,
see how it works.
Santa, you know what I used to get him because he's like me, he's a big Coca-Cola guy.
Oh yeah.
And me and him, we knew like Santa, you need an energy boost because he knew I always had a Coca-Cola.
Yeah, he always had.
right?
I remember one time I was like, "Yo, you have Coke?" He's like, "Yeah, I got it." You just started drinking.
Started
Yeah,
popping
so I
Coke.
mean, these are stories I don't, I knew because he knew that I love Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Like before a game, I drink a big, and
Yeah.
I gotta stop. But
Yeah.
it's bad.
It's so good, though.
Yeah, it's so,
So
good.
I like a glass
Uh,
Coke.
Yeah, I'm crazy about Coca-Cola, but I knew Santa was also, and I was like, "You want that quick energy?" He was
Yeah,
like,
it was.
but,
It was
I
during the
love-
game too. I remember.
Yeah, I would give him Coca-Cola, but yeah, the Dino drink actually is very good at it. We drink it too, and I believe in this brand, also local brand.
Local
Nice.
brand. Yeah. Hopefully,
Yeah, so hopefully.
we'll be trying out. We'll be rating it on our page.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just look out for
No,
that.
I
one.
mean, listen, everybody that I have, my sponsors are all local. There's La Union Restaurant
yeah.
in Hempstead. Very nice spot.
Yeah, that's the one that we went to eat before we played the game, right? Against
Yeah.
Comunicaciones. I remember
Yes. They have always been very supportive. Shout out to them. Very supportive, and I gotta give them a shout out. As one of our sponsors too. The Movement Underground, like I said, also local guys,
Yeah,
local
the-
and great guy. And we just signed a deal with Salt.
that. Okay.
And that's the brand with the
With the
with
bags,
the bags,
right?
yeah, and the cleats and stuff.
Cool.
So looking forward to a lot of great things in 2026.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're also like just to not make this longer than just you're having the locals. It's not like you're like, okay, I'm up there now. Let me just go and collab with someone bigger. And I think that's important as well. So you just don't bring yourself as a person, but you bring everybody with you. And I think that's I respect it a lot.
It's great, man. It's been a pleasure meeting you, man, because I've always seen you
Yeah.
around, and I'm glad
That's
we're.
I
big
know you
man,
probably
boss.
heard a lot of bad things about me. It's-
Bad
No,
and
no,
good.
But this is what this is for,
Yeah.
People can hear you speak and tell your story, and
Maybe
I
have
think,
a different idea about you.
yeah, because people hear renegades this, renegades that, Boris this, but this is you can uncover some of the truth and show a bit about what you're about and what's in your head and where your project's headed. So thank you for
Yeah.
coming on and taking time out of your
No, I
day.
appreciate you guys. Like I said, I'm Santa. I said I'll support it. Because
Yeah, I do appreciate that.
a local guy and seeing one of ours, go out there and doing something and venturing, it's awesome, and that's what I want. To be able to, bring up everybody
No, for
who
sure.
knows me, and in the support. That's why I support local. That's why I was with, and am still with Diasa, because he's local. Diego,
Oh yeah, when
number
you first
17.
started, yeah, I remember 17. Yeah,
A renegade,
Yeah. He's also
So a lot of people don't know history, like the history, Shout out to the pioneers too, like
Yeah.
I said, Nelson, Kelvin. These guys. We had our rivalries on the field, but deep down, I know I have a connection to them, and all I'm trying to do is carry the torch as forward as I can go. Hopefully,
There's
there'll
more
be
people.
others
Yep.
that come and make this something even bigger.
Yeah, of course. We
Hopefully.
appreciate that.
One last thing I want to say is, guys, keep up with Renegades. Follow we're gonna put their socials in the
everywhere.
we always put in the description in the bottom of the video. So if you guys want to keep up with them and their movement and what's going on, just make sure you follow them. And where are they gonna be passing the game? Do you know who's gonna be streaming it?
Yeah, it's
Tags?
gonna be the UPSL and of course Tags NYC.
Tags
Tags
NYC.
NYC. Okay, so
Yeah.
tune into
Shout
Tags
out
NYC. He's gonna be
Tags
covering.
NYC.
He's
They're gonna be there. Everybody
that's-
knows JB.
everybody
Anybody
knows
in this
JB.
business knows
Yeah.
who JB is, and shout out to him, to JB. From the heart. He's always one of the first to jump on and say, "Yeah, I'll go do your games."
Yeah, he's a loyal. He's a loyal one.
He is. I mean, he believed in it. He was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna." And he got a lot of hate. Oh, Renegades. Why you only
The
cover the Renegades?
favoritisms,
This
this and
it's like, but he knows what the project
he
is
saw the
about.
vision.
The promotion of these players and let them be seen. And you know what? JB is one of those guys who you call him from any league, he'll
go do it.
and
Yeah.
he's just as excited to do that game.
Every game.
Just as excited to do that game. So
Yeah.
shout out to him. And I met the guys at Game and Frame, and shout out to them too. They just as excited to do whatever game.
Yeah.
It's like that's what you want to see. Like
Yeah.
don't just take it like. And I'm not gonna talk bad about others, but like, oh, that's beneath me, or
Yeah, of
or
course.
that's
no.
quality. No, man, not JB and not the guys from Game and Frame. I'm gonna tell you, those guys, if they see a beautiful goal, they gonna go. You know what I mean?
They do it in their own way, but
Yeah. It's like that's what I want to see. JB is about. He don't care if he has to go. I've seen him do. Brooklyn. You've seen he goes everywhere. And that's what you want to see, and that leads you to want to do this. Yeah, he covers our game because he knows there's quality. There's more quality, and there's and people tune in. Actually, the numbers. But,
Yeah, of course.
But
And he also says that you're very loyal to him. Like there was a broadcast that he did say that the reason why it's not like I favorite is Renegades. It's just that they've been always loyal to me, so like
Yeah.
I'd be loyal to them back. So that's something.
No,
JB is
he's
always-
100% loyal, and to him, it's really not about the money. It's about, he believes in the project. He believes in, getting New York seen and putting them out there, and
Which is why he also tries to build his leagues and stuff like that. And he's the only one that's been trying to build those leagues.
Yeah.
Everybody else has trying to fall off and stuff like that. So.
Well, I mean, no, there's still Westbury. Shout out to Ricardo.
But they do very limited. Like for example, 3 players per team that you could only play. It's not like you could have the whole entire team or but they're very limited compared to like the tax tournament that you guys just won. Every team is stacked.
Yeah.
Every single team is stacked. So
Yeah.
in that sense,
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? It's like they're trying to. You see, the thing is how you go about it, right? If you want to build a league where you want parity, and you don't want the
most dominant.
the in other words, they're more interested in parity than they're interested in having a dominant team and making, because this competition is what drives everything.
Yeah, competition.
It's the American way. It's why America has been number one for a long time, and I think we're losing our way in that because now China's actually outcompeting us, right? But when you have that, competition leads to more competition. It's just the natural way of things, right? When you enforce parity, what you're gonna get is the quality, doesn't go up, I think that's the ultimate problem that the MLS is gonna have, because the team in the bottom has no incentive to do anything, because at the end of the day, next season, it's always next season.
You just regroup. That's it.
You gotta have where, oh shit, he's coming,
Yeah.
And it's the same with Renegades as far as the players are concerned, because they know, shit, he's coming. They see the Division
Yeah.
One. You got to see those games when
Yeah.
we have the scrimmages with the Division One. Division One is playing for their
Yeah,
spots.
we had them. Yeah, I remember last like when it was Torizo there. I think we beat you guys.
Yeah.
I think it was Mauricio scored 3 goals. I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
I
won.
mean, that's the only way that you truly see that, coming from a spot, I gotta
Gotta
play.
lock in.
I gotta lock in
Yeah.
and show my stuff because, someone's coming. So it's the same thing. And the leagues like for JB, like he promotes the league that he does, and he's trying to build up the local team this way. But going back to him with us, he's always been loyal. He's not he doesn't really do it for the money.
Yeah. He's such a good guy.
He does it because he wants to showcase these guys and wants people to see.
Yeah, want to uplift them and get them out of here and make sure they make it pro or something. At least give them an opportunity. But I'm glad that we could touch base on a lot of things, especially in New York and Long Island. And like I said, we're always happy to watch Renegades play, and what they bring to the table. It's second to none. They provide a spectacular performance every single game they come out to. And again, we'll be watching you guys. In the national finals. Hopefully, this year is your year. And is there anything else you want to say, Julian?
No, I enjoy this conversation, man. I just want to see, hopefully we have you on later in the future again.
Yes,
to see the progress, and
Hopefully after you win with the trophy.
definitely.
Come back with the big
Thank you.
trophy.
With the big trophy.
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, it's
really been a pleasure
I appreciate
meeting you.
guys.
Always
And
happy
again,
to
you.
have you.
always supporting, you guys now because I like the format, and I hope you should have a lot of interesting guests.
Yeah, we
100%.
are. We have
Yeah.
we're having a couple more, so
Yeah.
we'll be tuned into that. And thank you for watching again.
Thank you,
And
yeah.
Julian, is there anything you want to say to?
No, that's it. Just like, subscribe, comment, follow Renegades.
Yeah, like,
And-
subscribe to Uncut 90
Thank
too.
you,
There we
appreciate it,
go.
man. And Dino.